I told her to say nothing at her sentencing. She insisted she had nothing to lose and was determined to let the world have it.
Hello, my true crime lovelies. How are you? I hope you are as lovely in life as you are in your mind. All right, I've got Lana text. We're going to go through some Lana text. I will say this is the end of April, very end. I don't think she lived more than 2 weeks after this. And in these text messages is when she talks about, how do I want to say it? Well, at least she shares with me her realization of Sarah being a murderer and the process of how she got there. And yeah, let's just go through it. Let's not belabor it with chit chat. How are you doing? I hope everything is going well for my chronic pain sufferers. I hope today is a good day for you. If not, I hope tomorrow is. It's snowing here in Manhattan. Well, no, it's not. It is. It was snowing. It's snow on the ground right now. And it is turning like slushy. So, but it's cold. It's definitely cold. So let me know where you are and what your weather is and how you're feeling. If you're not feeling well, are you giving yourself grace? What are you doing to, allow it to happen? Yeah, I hope you're taking care of yourself no matter what you're feeling like. Okay. Alrighty, let's get into this. So we're going to start with the text messages from my phone, and then I'm going to transition to the written ones because I was trying to figure out how to redact the names of the children. And so anyway, let's get going. So this is, first we're talking about, so Lana used to own a storage before she got sick, a storage, like a self-storage company. And she was talking about people scamming and like suing. So this one particular woman sued her, alleging that she had an accident, but she was really behind in her storage, and she used her child in that. So that's what we're kind of talking about. So I just said, I'm in the blue. She's abusing him for personal gain. Some people should not have children. Oh, before I forget, Nicole and Peter. Then she put,
shortly after the court date, her relatives came in, apologized, paid the bill, and moved her stuff out.
So I give her a heart. And then she said,
oh, what about these two?
I just said, did they take the child? Imagine the future he has with that deadbeat. Nicole, commenter stated she could be in Australia and acquired a Rhode Island voiceover IP to, quote, save Sarah money. She replies,
I can't remember what they said, but it sounded like he went to live with grandma.
And then I hearted that again. That's the customer. I said, seems thin. Why not a Florida number? Save Sarah money. How? That I didn't ask because, people comment, people chat. I read Reddit. As far as I know, the recipient still has to pay for the call, right? If Sarah is calling Nicole's paying for the call, unless you guys know something I don't know, which is possible because I don't know everything. So let me know in the comments. And then she said,
I wonder if the RI number is a VoIP.
And she says,
did we establish that? I tried to look it up and there was nothing about it. So it sounds like it could be a VoIP.
Then I said, Peter, Sarah missed the disclosure deadline last week and she has another coming on Monday. Seems like that would have been more pressing than the nonsensical correspondence to Brian's attorney. So she sent some, I don't remember what it is, but at some point she filed that instead of what she should have been filing. And, I was docket watching, so I was trying to see what was going on. Lana says,
ugh.
I said, according to Ben Verified, it is. So we're talking about the number.
I did tell him about the financials deadline. Okay.
I respond, but I want to go back and look at the times based on your observation. She says,
yeah, Rhode Island is a weird location choice. Right. It's like 16 and a half years difference to me, so 15 and a half to you.
I said, very odd, which makes me suspicious. And she said,
most definitely.
She missed it and it won't look favorable because she filed the other document instead. So this is the financials. You'll remember in the calls, P was asking her, basically telling her, girl, you just have nothing. So your financial affidavit shouldn't be that hard. Just get a piece of paper and write 0 on it. I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? You don't have any money, ma'am. She wrote,
it's 2:58 a.m. there now, so actually 13 and a half.
I gave her a thumbs up. Her disclosures are overdue. I bet she thinks it doesn't apply to her.
To you. I didn't press him too hard about it, and it could have gone over his head in our discussion. She's really using and guilting him. I'm very gently trying to get him to wake up. If I push too hard, I'll look like I hate Sarah and just want to get her friends away. But he's really being used, and these motions are not a good look for him.
So then I add in the schedule that I made for you guys when we were tracking the docket. I think I did that Dropbox. So I sent that and she said,
"Oh, did you make this?"
And then I respond to her prior comment and I say, very bad for his personal and professional brand. And she did it.
Right.
And it's also giving
just doing what I'm being told,
which is crazy considering she's a convicted murderer.
Killerer. We didn't have that yet.
And then she writes,
or
I said, I bet she hasn't started the process of gathering her info to complete the docs. Again, 0, but you know, all the other stuff that she's supposed to be gathering and turning in. And she says,
I don't want to help him help her. And then, oh, I bet not.
And I said, silly question. Do inmates file taxes? I'm going to skip this part because this is about George. George and Sarah. Basically, I was just saying they seem like big refund people. Then she says
he would have been eligible for earned income credit.
And I found that surprising. I thought it was super low income that gets earned income credit, but we'll go through that. So I said, yes, Brian was footing all the bills by himself. It was at least twice. Oh, I skipped. So let me go back a little. Lana
said, I'm sure they could not afford H&R Block.
Not at all. She lives from paycheck to paycheck, so to speak. At least with her commissary and tablet spending, no budgeting detective. And she said,
not to mention, I think the house was in foreclosure twice during their marriage.
So I think Lana looked this up on the docket just as I did. And then she said,
oh, I meant to say Sarah could not afford it, and George.
And then that's when I said he seemed like the type to get a big refund, basically loaning money to the government interest free. She said,
right. He would have been eligible.
So that threw me back because I don't know why he was a shift manager. So we go through this. So I'm saying the reason why the house was in foreclosure is Brian was footing all the bills by himself when he and Sarah were still married. It was at least twice in foreclosure during marriage and once while she was incarcerated. She didn't work for at least 7 years of their marriage. That contributed to her large alimony, right? So in order for her to live the lifestyle in which she became accustomed, that's why her alimony was so high, because there was a gap of what she would have when she left. It's like a runway, like a landing. So she has a soft landing. Anyway.
Right. She told me she was working as an office manager or something.
And then we know that's not true based on the psychologist, right? Because then they talked about her being like grandiose, of like people, like senior people relied on her for information and advice. So
that they couldn't get along without her.
Girl, they were probably so happy to see her leave.
He wasn't making much back then. Yikes. So that was my comment about the earned income. Is like, he must not have been making.
She talked about it like she was there for the entire marriage.
No.
He worked at Ace as a clerk. Isn't that a minimum wage job of sorts?
And then I said, after watching the Lori Daybell trial, I'm glad to know George's minor children would have gotten SS benefits after his death. She said,
right, me too. Man, more and more, I'm so glad I'm not helping her now.
I respond, he was a shift manager. She talks about notifying his employees during her interrogation. Also, it comes up when she is texting his manager in the text from the trial. And she says,
oh, well, if he was a lead, he made a little more.
Now, he still could have gotten an earned income credit. It's been a while. For some reason in my mind, it's like you have to live close to the poverty level. And maybe they did. I don't know. But that's where the conversation was coming from. So I said there's an FB page from his employees as a homage to him. She wouldn't have been able to qualify for the town home without him. And she said,
there is? I did not know that.
And so I said, yes, let me see if I can find from my phone. I don't have the app on my phone, but let's see if the mobile browser will behave for me. And then she says, yikes.
Thank you. Huh. Just found his personal page.
I was like, he has a bunch. I think this photo is after his facial reconstruction. And she says,
oh, wow.
And then I circled there that he was the shift manager. And that was created by his employees. And then she
looking it up on salary.com. I am nosy.
And then I said, you're in good company. And then I started laughing. She did a purple heart and a winky face. One of the lovelies reached out to PI Sam asking her to research Sarah's employment background. She found nothing. She says,
oh, wow.
I told her it would be before 2013. She said she would look further back. I didn't follow up with that. I don't know where that went. And she says,
OMG. Oh my God. Yeah, she told me that she started drinking in her mid-20s when she went out to a bar with coworkers.
I said also there was no DV accusations for George in PA. That was what made me think originally Sarah weaponized her whiteness to keep getting George arrested. If that term is unusual to you, look up the case of Emmett Till. I think that's a good example of that.
According to Glassdoor, he would be making $19 per hour. The average employee was $17.31.
So then I said, so 1997, she would have been 20. Let's give her until October 98 to officially start drinking. And then she says,
Right.
And then I said, she got married in.
Please hold.
And Lana says,
Yeah, I thought it was like 24, 25, but I'm not sure. I can't remember how it came up, but it was a phone conversation.
So then I said 8/21, 2004, she was married. And Lana says,
My guess is she had zero job, especially since they had little man.
So I said, so if we go with age 25, she started drinking in 2002. He was born in 2010.
He mentioned at his birthday, I think Brian mentioned at the son's birth was when her drinking really ramped up.
So I said, so 8 years later, she says,
About right.
It's either ramped up or she cared less about hiding it. I was good at hiding it early on, then eventually didn't care. She says,
She told me Brian has an alcohol problem.
And I responded with the exclamation point. She said,
Same.
Regarding hiding the drinking. I said, people will suddenly mention things that it seemed I had forgotten. That's when I realized I was having blackouts. That was around 98 for me. I don't know why I put 98. I think that was definitely in this century, but who knows? And then she said,
oh man.
I said, well, he is a functioning and she is not, if that is true, meaning Brian is a functioning alcoholic, right? He can get up and do the things he needs to do. She says,
exactly. She said that all he would do is get drunk and watch sports.
If Sarah was my wife, I would be drunk all the time too, just saying. I would leave. I wouldn't marry Sarah. Wait, what am I saying? Drinking later, though, doesn't explain her arrested development around 8th or 9th grade. Lana says
she wanted me to text him to stop drinking once, and I refused.
I did exclamation point, and then she says, right, referring to the arrested development. Good for you. You are probably the only one to stand up to her. She says,
yeah, I played it off like she was joking. What she really wanted me to text him was to get off his fat ass and stop drinking so much. Not a chance. I laughed and said, yeah, right. And then
I'm blocked.
Then where would you be? Question mark, question mark. Her response was, he'll never block you. To which I said something like, no way, I'm the nice one, remember? I don't remember what she said, but we dropped it. I think I changed the subject. Near the end, pretty much, she would call me and I'd just grab my tablet and take notes because she wanted me to do things or follow up. I was where P is right now, and he's getting fatigued with it too. She knows N isn't the brightest. She is leaning on P.
And I put exclamation point. And then she said,
I noticed J is keeping his distance, which I'm not surprised.
And then she wrote
1 hour left.
Heart. And I said, Christina was barely communicating with her. Wonder what happened there. I just comment on near the end and I said, she wears you down. And then I sent a screenshot to her from one of you guys where it says, you bringing up how she doesn't understand the concept of gifts reminds me of her giving George the bike and her then calling the cops to get it back from him. And then someone else said, and George's derangement ring. And then someone else says his birth certificate. A lot of examples of her. Truly have to agree. Her abuse of that poor man still brings me to tears. And she's simply redirecting it all on her ex-hubby and son. She's utterly abhorrent. Someone else, Forever Wanderer, that looks like you, said, oh, good point. What makes a person think the way she does? I honestly don't get how you can think if your ex is gifted something or inherited money 7 years after a divorce, it's any of your business at all. Oh, little Miss Sarah. There was a pejorative phrase used to describe someone who is ungenerous or takes back a gift they're given. But I think they said they don't think I could say it on TV. It was common if you were born in the late 60s or early 70s to say this phrase. now we don't even refer to those people by that name, but you know, times change, we learn, we grow. Can you imagine someone doing life in prison demanding your financial information and money? It's really wild, isn't it? The audacity of that woman is still appalling to me. No, LOL. It's so crazy that she thinks that. Oh, so I think this was the letter that she sent then that was demanding Brian's deeper financial information and interrogatories, right? So she was like, she wanted the price of the marital home, even though she had been bought out in 2018. In 2025, this year, she wanted to know, what did he sell it for? What did he do with the money? Which is crazy because it's none of your business. Like, it's just like me coming up to you and like,
Hey, you sold your house. What did you sell it for?
It's none of my business.
but you know, Sarah knows no boundaries. So I copied this and I said, it's not looking good for your girl. She said, yikes. This one is absolutely right. The last one you screenshot. And then let me see if I can get this bigger. And then we're going to go to I think I did it on here. Let's see. Okay, hold on. We're going to pause it. There we go. Sarah is used to everyone being willing to give her what she wants, so she will back off so they don't have to deal with her. She's never faced real resistance. Even the divorce, she got most of what she wanted after contributing nothing. He even says he parented basically by himself before she was even gone. So the literal, legal, and judicial F off she is getting just doesn't even register with her. She doesn't hear no. She hears, I don't understand. She thinks that she just hasn't explained everything clearly enough for a bunch of idiots to really understand what actually has to, rightfully, of course, be done. They don't get it. And that means she needs to break it down further. And when that fails, again, it's because everyone is too stupid. She has never been wrong in her life, only faced with idiots who don't understand the facts and truth she presents. That's why she's in prison. That's why she lost her case. That's why she isn't being paid, because nobody's smart enough to understand that she is absolutely, unequivocally, undeniably, thoroughly, intentionally correct. This is only further proof after her insistence on testifying, representing herself, depending when you ask. And the plea deal debacle. She didn't take the deal because she knew for a fact that all she needed was for a jury to hear her explanation. That was what was going to get her home. That's why she didn't need a plea deal. And then someone down here says, bingo. Yikes. That's scary, but I think it's true.
Hey, do you mind if I send your yellow chart of dates to P? She's going to blame him, and I care about the poor guy.
And then so you can see here, this is May 1st now. And I say, I do not mind. I pull the dates from the doc the judge sent. And then I said, Sarah has the date. So now we're going to switch over to the text messages. So here we pick up. I do not mind. I pulled the dates. And then I said, Sarah has the dates because she mentioned the discovery due date in her frivolous demand letter. Remember the call she's supposed to have with the lawyer? She's going to have to call to initiate it. They can't call her. So this was the meeting, like the pre-trial conference meeting that the judge ordered between non-represented and represented. So Sarah is supposed to meet with Brian's lawyer to go over this, right? But he can't call her. So she has to call him. She ends up blaming them because they end up filing, after not hearing from her, they end up filing their own pre-trial conference and said, you know, they didn't reach out to her by the prison, blah, blah, blah. They got like a slap on the wrist for not at least notifying the judge in advance of making that decision. But it was, a meeting of attorneys. They were supposed to set out, like, agree on what they could agree on so they didn't have to waste the time at the court, in front of the court, and then the time of the court. And then whatever wasn't decided, stipulate to anything that they didn't need to present. They've already stipulated to that the facts are true, let the judge decide, etc. So I just said this meeting. And then next morning, Friday, May 2nd, good morning. Not having luck with the Minnesota layover. There is one at 1 hour, 17 minutes that is really late and ends up getting in Monday morning. So crazy because usually there are several options. We'll let you know what I find. So like Minnesota and Atlanta, you can usually find a longer layover. I've done it a few times in Atlanta because those are Delta hubs. So I was like, there has to be something. This is my sister-in-law. My sister and I, before we walked up for her pinning, so I flew out to California for my sister's graduation from nursing school. Hello. It's over 24 hours later. I am going to turn my camera off and just read so we can get through this. I know it doesn't matter, but the producer and me will get annoyed at the continuity issues, especially because I don't know if I'm going to finish this. But anyway, let's get back into it. It's like minutes later for you.
Good morning. Hey, I have no doubt that if it doesn't happen this time, it will in future. So please don't worry about taking a layover that increases your stress or anxiety. And you two look amazing. Please convey my congratulations to your sister. What an accomplishment. And then she said, you both have 100 megawatt smiles. I have to see a dentist myself because dialysis is leaching the calcium from my bones and teeth by proxy. I brush 3 times or more per day, but it's still irritating.
Then I said, so proud of her. My uncle and his wife came in from Nevada. They got to meet Sugar Bear. He took to my uncle and sat with him during the whole ceremony. Then she says,
oh, that is awesome.
And then I respond to her dentist comment, yikes, are there dentists that specialize in supporting people with renal issues?
And then she says, your sister must have been so proud to have family there with her at this moment, the things it took to get to this point. That is what I'm trying to find out. I have to take a round of antibiotics just to see a dentist since it's dangerous to someone immunocompromised. In the meantime, the symptoms are some of my back teeth have chipped and a few turned dark. Not fun for someone like me with a people background. I'll have it fixed though. My nephrologist put it in the annoying but not dangerous category of side effects. Luckily, my teeth aren't falling out. I never had even a single cavity in my life.
And I believe when she says a people background, like her jobs have been people facing, right? Customer facing. Like mine is not. But so she definitely wants, she's concerned about her smile. I get it. I'm obsessed with mine. So then I say, it's a double-edged sword. Not being treated could lead to infection. She said,
right. And being cheated could lead to one. The joys of risk management, LOL.
Then I say, when I had surgery on my gums, they also put antibiotics between my tooth and gums in each quad of my mouth.
She said, that's a thought. I didn't know that was possible. Every time I've gone to the dentist after my transplant, I had to take a round of pills. I'm rewatching the body cam video of Sarah from 6/15/18. Wow, she looks like a cat who has just gotten a bowl of milk. Very smug and satisfied, and it's all about control of George. And he is crying in the back seat.
I ask where she choked him. She said,
I don't think so. They didn't arrest her. She is laughing about putting George under the jail.
And then I do the exclamations.
While yelling, I love you, to him in the back of the cop car. It's the one where she keeps trying to get the cop to sit on the couch with her while filling out the statement.
Can you send me the link? I don't remember the couch part. Head blown. She said,
LOL. Hang on a sec.
I say, I have footage I never edited. The BWC where she gets a ride from a visit with her son and wants George removed, then doesn't have the key. So Brian brings it. She sends me the link. She gives me the timestamp, 6:34:03. And then I say, thanks.
If there's anybody available, can I get 44? Hey, George. Hey, George. Sheriff's Department, can you come on out? Come on. Hey, George, I can hear you. Come on up. George, Sheriff's Office, come on out. What's going on, man? Come on here, talk. What's going on? Talk to me. What's going on today? Do you speak English?
Yes.
Okay, just tell me what's going on.
Why are you here right now?
Because she called me. So tell me, you want to tell me what's going on?
What? Did she really come?
Where are these cuts on your neck?
That's neither here nor there, no. Is she over there? We got it,
Do you want to talk to me about the cuts on your neck?
yeah, not really.
Okay, do me a favor, turn around. Put your hands down.
Why? Why am I getting cooked up?
Cut my head.
Why am I getting cuffed up, sir?
Kind of my 401 diagnosed here.
Why am I getting cuffed?
Okay, come over here.
Yeah, why am I getting cuffed up?
We'll talk to you about it in a sec, okay? You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all.
Okay, have a seat, my friend. You been drinking today?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot or a little bit? Like, do you understand what's going on right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and read these, okay? I'm just gonna need you to answer yes or no after each time I ask you a question, okay? You have the right to remain silent, do you understand that? Anything you say will be used in court as evidence against you, do you understand that? You are entitled to talk to an attorney now and have him present now and at any time during the questioning, do you understand that?
Yeah.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you without cost, do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you desire to consult with an attorney first or have one during this interview? Yes or no? Okay. If at any time hereafter you wish to remain silent and have an attorney present, all questioning will be stopped. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone at any time threatened, coerced, promised you anything in order to induce you to make a statement? Okay. Do you understand these rights as I read them to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you wish to talk to me at this time?
Yeah.
Okay. So, tell me what happened today.
What is going on?
She said that you hit her and you choked her.
What? No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, she's got a lump on her head. How did she get the lump on her head?
I don't know. She just take me in. I don't know. Officer, I don't know.
Did you push her, hit her, anything like that?
No, not at all.
Okay, how did she get the lump on her head?
I don't know.
Okay, what brought you over here today?
I was trying to get my ID and my social and my birth certificate.
So, you've been drinking, so you didn't want to just come over here to get something. So like, how long have you been?
For a while.
Okay. So, so a while, like an hour or 2 hours? Okay. How long have you guys been dating for?
We've been together for 2 years.
For 2 years? Okay. Are you guys still dating right now, or are you broken up? Okay.
And I work right there at Ace.
Okay, so you came over here today, so for about a while ago, an hour or two. What have you been doing since you got here? Okay, so just spending time with her, and then all of a sudden she decided to run outside and call it now? Why would she do that? You don't know?
She's nice, dude. She's nice.
Okay, that's fine. But
As you can hear
what you gotta understand, what you're telling me isn't really adding up. Because she gave me her side of the story.
what she said.
And she's saying that you're headed. That's all I need, man. It's Ma'am, I'm doing my job, okay? You just sit there and be quiet. I'll be over to talk to you when I can. Every time you start yelling, you're interfering.
She's the one that she just snapped out of nowhere. She's mad because she took me out of the meeting of the lease.
Mm-hmm.
She took me out of the lease. And I told these guys of the lease, like, look, I can't cash my check. I can't cash my check without her. So please talk to her.
Okay, so you came over and talked to her about cashing your check?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you've been here for a couple hours. Okay, so what happened to make her run outside and call police? Because I'm seeing cuts on you and I'm seeing bruises at her. But you're not telling me what happened. And you're the one sitting in the back of a cop car right now.
I don't even know what happened.
Did she hit you?
All the time.
Who hit who first?
She does all the time.
So she hit you first?
All the time.
Who's today? I'm talking about today. You don't know if she hit you today? Huh? Do you have an ID on you?
She has it.
She has it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you grab his ID for me?
No, I don't have it.
He said it's in the house.
No, I threw it in the bushes.
Where in the bushes? Because I need it.
Friend, love, whenever I'm however, oh my gosh, the front door is open and I don't even know where my dogs are. Oh, here, find the desk. I don't have his ID.
You said you threw it in the bushes. Where in the bushes did you throw it? Could you please go look over there?
So what's happening?
It's in the back of the cop car. You said he hit you, he beat you, you have a phone? Okay?
I don't have it. You can look up here.
Where were you?
His brother and his ranting mother came over here, so it should be somewhere in here if they didn't find it. I don't have it.
No, I mean it because it makes getting his information a lot easier if I don't have to keep asking him questions and I can just get it out there.
I'm not making Morgan go than I could, friends. I'm not. I already looked through here.
Okay.
Jordy, get your stuff done over there, I'll get her started on the list. You want to sit down?
She also has my birth certificate.
Listen, she said that she threw it in the bushes. I'm trying to find it. If you're looking here, you wouldn't be needing it.
You told me I'm not going to get one. I love you. I don't know what it is that you're asking me for.
Okay, maybe he didn't get to it yet, so I'm looking to see it. Oh, yeah. It was the backside of this. If you get any more bruises that show up that you didn't see while we were here.
Can I show you all the other pictures that I have that I have documented?
He's going to jail for this, so the rest of that can't leave anything up. But if anything else shows up, you can go take that paper down to
There's
headquarters.
not gonna be anything else because you're taking him down. Put him under the jail.
He's going.
Under the jail.
Okay. We're all set then.
What else do you, I could show you bloody fingers and bloody faces and black eyes and.
I know, it sounds like you guys need to probably not hang out with each other anymore.
Hello,
I know,
that's
I know,
why
but-
I left him 3 weeks ago.
but this also isn't the first time, so, with both you guys, with the cops out here,
No,
okay?
I've had to lie to you guys 3 times.
And you shouldn't have to do that, so let's make this maybe the last time.
Now I'm not lying.
And I appreciate that, okay, and he's going, okay?
They're gonna come and tell me.
Who's that?
Just like I told the other sheriff, they're gonna come and tell me.
Okay. If you,
I want you to know that. Look,
if you're in fear, are you talking about
Yes.
family?
yes.
Okay. So
I want you to know, I am full blown. They're gonna come and tell me.
go down to the courthouse, okay, and get an injunction against them. Did you get the pamphlet for the victim's rights pamphlet? Okay, so you know that there's a place where you can
They're
go tonight?
going to come and tell me.
Okay, so you got the victim's rights pamphlet, you know there's a place you can go tonight then? It's in the
The
bed?
domestic, I'm gonna go sleep over her house,
Perfect,
neighbors.
okay. You have any more questions?
Can I get drunk?
This one. I'm working. I didn't tell that. Okay, have a good day. Okay, that's good enough. I know. Thank you. Okay,
I love it.
that's fine. Okay. Have a good day,
Look,
man.
and whatever the fuck he says,
Okay,
tell him
yes,
to be a dick. Hey.
Okay, have a good day. See you later. Thank you. Have a good day.
Tell him to thank you.
So, why don't you come on over and give me a written statement about what happened? I have it over here by my car. Sure, just stay right there. Now, Jordan, you get your stuff done over there, and I'll get her started on all this. You want to sit down in here? So you can write? Okay.
Love! Don't leave!
Come on, let me call you here. Let's get this done.
I'm not getting arrested.
No, I'm getting a statement from you. You're not being arrested. So,
Okay, look, I'll come over and see you in like 5.
come on.
Thanks, buddies. They know.
Let's get this done.
They know.
Okay.
Good.
Now, would you come in here so we can do your statement, please? And stop this. Sit down at the table and let's get your statement filled out.
He didn't believe I would ever do it. I'm gonna shut the door, is that okay?
Sure.
Never thought I would do it.
Did you have any questions?
Okay. What's in there? Yes. I'm not getting arrested.
No, you're not getting arrested. I've already told you that.
Yeah. It's on the couch. It's on the couch.
Need your ID,
It's
please.
on the couch.
No, ma'am, I just need your ID,
Okay,
please.
look, I can write that on the couch.
I will give you the statement to write. I need your ID, please. I don't need to sit on the couch to fill this out. You can. I sit down all day, but I appreciate the offer.
Yes, it's comfy. I just come out, sorry. Thank you, God, he's gone. Right. Oh, man, they're gonna come over here and try and kill me. I don't want you to know that. They're gonna come over here and try and kill me.
Who's that?
His brothers and his mother and his father. They're gonna come over here and try and kill me.
Don't open the door for
It doesn't matter. They all go up there and rant and bullshit and everything, and then they cause commotion, and then I get complaints against me. Anyway, my name is Sarah.
him. Hi, Sarah. I'm showing this out just a minute.
What's your name?
Jeff, Deputy Brown.
Jeff. Yeah. We're all gonna be like, did we get caught up?
He will be. Do you have a phone number, man?
I'm not getting arrested.
Nope, you're not. Did you do something you should be arrested for?
No.
Okay.
For the last time I fought back. Or 20 years.
Do you have an email address, man?
Sam, K as in Kate, P as in Paul, _1800 @yahoo.com. You can totally come sit down over here.
I sit down all day. I appreciate the offer, but when I get this done for you, it's a little more comfortable for me to stand and do this.
I can't tell you how amazing it is. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to say that. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Oh, crap, the car is still there.
Okay, come on in and sit down so you can get this filled out.
Okay.
And what I need you to do is you'll just print your name right where that X is, and then I need you to just write the story about what happened today.
Print.
Yep, please.
I don't even know what trigger it is.
So is this a husband, boyfriend? Are you guys married?
No.
How long have you been together?
2.5 years.
Was he drinking or anything today?
Yes.
Both of you?
I have.
Okay.
Bless you.
Nothing wrong with that.
Here's my artwork benefit, but, because I do artwork, but.
Okay, I need you to fill out the, very
I do
nice.
artwork.
Very nice.
I have as many friends years that I do artwork.
No, nothing wrong with that. And who called the police? Did you call the
I
police?
did.
Okay. Call 911?
Yes.
Very good. Has this happened before?
3 times. The last one that came up and they're like, oh yeah, we read your statement, so know kind of who you are and what's going on.
So 3 times the police have been here? Was there ever,
Sheriff.
was it sheriff, were there reports written when they were here?
I'm not even sure about that, I didn't have to sign anything.
Okay.
Not worth it. Okay. I'm not really sure what else I'm saying, but like.
What does it say? Can you read it to me?
Throwing me off the bed and beating in the head and stuff, am I supposed to write all that?
Yep, everything that happened.
I'm supposed to write all that?
Yep, everything that happened.
All that?
Yeah.
You see my neighbors out there, because they know their children are going to come at the house and they know who it is.
And what was your phone number again? 407?
407-716-866. I'm not getting arrested.
Nope.
In the car still.
County charge $25. Could you give me 424 case number, please?
She says, I know I'm trying to find the body cam of her son. I know we don't see him, but we do hear him. It's so weird watching these again with different eyes. I'm catching things I didn't see before.
Then I said, I bet that poor kid, he witnessed so much. She was on a downward spiral.
Who's this? Hi,
He wanted to meet you. You know, actually tell him what you want to be when you grow up. Oh, please.
you want to be a cop? Great job, man. Stay out of trouble.
Thank you. She's my mom. I'll call you later. Okay. But Dad,
That's your.
night termite, sir.
That's your. Son?
I love you, baby head. Yes.
Oh, with your ex-husband?
Yes.
Okay. And this is where he lives?
Yes. Ooh, I can't see. You're going to my place?
Mm-hmm.
123 Foxtrot, you know, check? All the employees, it's right down the street.
Yeah.
I think it's going to hospital. You want cancel? You want? Are you going to park or just pull? 121, no, forget it.
Well, I'm parking. We're all getting out. Where?
My blinking light from the office. They get to fix it.
That one right there?
I'm the one out.
Yeah, I gotta let you out.
23 Echo 122. 25 Delta, you gonna check? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's always gonna act surprised. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
What's his name?
George.
Okay. Does he have a car?
I'm sorry?
Does he have a car?
No. That's my car right there. He does have my keys, though.
Mm-hmm. You don't have a key? Well.
I'll see if he's even here, guys.
Do you have both of these? Yes. Upstairs and downstairs?
Just, I can't get out of the house.
Well, you told me you're already getting kicked out.
No, I can't.
Is there a back door or a sliding door in it?
Yes. You mean...
Nope, you're good.
If you go 10-12, just let us know.
Yep.
That's if we already bailed.
What's your plan if you did?
I'm gonna lock all the doors.
How are you gonna get inside?
My ex-husband actually has a spare key. Are the blinds open? 121 Alpha.
A little bit.
For 2112. And what about there? Air 69, check. For 2112. 124 Delta, 124 Charlie, unit check.
Devil.
2112.
It's locked on the back.
Oh, so he locked the back too.
Yeah, the back's locked.
Hey, well, you wanna call your ex-husband? You got a phone?
It's about to die.
Okay.
There's a charger.
That's not to say that he's not in the house.
Excuse me?
That's not to say that he's not in there, just because the doors are locked.
I don't understand what you're trying to say. Do you think he's inside?
Yes.
Okay, well, we need a key so we can get inside and see if he's inside. That's what I'm getting at.
And if your phone's gonna die, there's a charger in back on the back side of the porch.
Oh, yeah.
If he's in the house, he's not coming to the door, but you have my spare key. I can't get in. If you could, there's no other way of me getting in my house. Unfortunately, can you please bring me my spare key? Yes, please. We're out front. The front door and back door. I have no way of getting in. Thanks, bye.
121 Echo, yes, just walking in check.
Where's he live at, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Is that you said that's your ex?
No, it's my ex-husband.
He was just right down Colorado.
Okay, thanks.
121
He'll be here in like
21 Charlie,
2 minutes.
Charlie
Perfect,
29.
thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Is your, who you think is your ex-boyfriend, is that correct?
This is my place.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's a simple question. Your boyfriend or ex-boyfriend?
I don't know what to call him.
Hey, it's one or the other. It's a pretty easy one.
Yes.
Okay. Does
For
he not
3
have any
years.
weapons?
No.
Okay.
He was arrested last week for bad TV.
You guys actually want to take a picture of my ear? Do that.
I saw he was arrested before. Was that on you also, like a month ago?
It was last week.
Here, look.
Mm-hmm.
120 Bravo, 120 Charlie.
That's why I called you all. And again, I was sleeping.
2115.
He hates it when I sleep.
How much has he had to drink tonight?
Only God knows.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
2 drinks. And that was what, 4 hours ago?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the layout of the house? Is it both floors?
Yes.
Is this part of your, or is
Yes.
that, sorry, so it's these 2 windows right here?
Yes.
What kind of vehicle does he drive?
Well, you guys can stay up here. I'm going to go around the back.
But I don't.
That's him?
Y'all can have to sit. Y'all can open the door.
Oh, yeah, you're going to stay outside so we can make sure nobody's inside.
I'll give it back. Thank you so much.
You're just hanging out here.
I am. I'm not going in there.
It says his name's George.
There's no weapon.
Okay.
Ask for a minute. Ask for a minute.
That's.
Well, I know, but.
It's not that stupid.
124 Charlie.
I'm just telling them.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Can we get minimum traffic for building sir?
Ready to make an announcement?
Yep.
You guys don't have to do that.
Man, we have a way to do things.
Okay.
Just let's
Thank
do our
you.
thing, okay?
Lana says on the 618 one where she calls him, she told me it was because he stole her debit card. Oh my God, OMG, she gave him that card.
I respond, she did.
911, what is the location of your
emergency?
Well, I didn't have an emergency here at my place, but my boyfriend was arrested, I think, last Thursday, and he has a no contact form, and he took it upon himself to come over to my house yesterday and took the bike that I bought for him, which is technically mine, and also my debit card. So, and okay, ma'am, if he bought it, then it's a gift. He didn't. Okay, that's fine. I need my debit card though. Like I have my 8-year-old son coming over here and I can't buy groceries for him. Okay, then what's your address? My address is 4 TV. Okay, 4. So what's your apartment number? 3. Your apartment number? 3. 3. Okay, just to make sure I heard you right. Sure. Okay. Have you used anything else with that credit card? Yeah, he bought beer and cigarettes. Yeah. Alright. So, what's your name? Sarah, Sarah. Okay, Sarah, you call back to 407-716-8684? Yes, okay. And he's at his parents' house right now, so if you need the actual address over there or whatever, it should be done. Okay, Sarah, what did you say? He's actually at his parents' house right now, so I don't know. Okay, well, we're gonna come to you first to make a report, okay? Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna get all this information in here, but consider it done to you. I need to send it up to you, okay? All right, so when did this happen? Yesterday. So, is your ex-boyfriend? Yeah, technically he's my boyfriend, but yeah, at this point he's my ex. All right, what's his name? George, Jorge. Stephen Torres, Corres. Okay, by chance do you know how old he is? He's 41. 21378. Okay. If anyone can recognize you, are you like my first Hispanic? I'm white. What color shirt pants are you wearing? Right now I'm wearing a blue shirt with white sweatpants. And there's a green pineapple on my door because it covers up the 3. Okay. Do you have any weapons on you or in your home? No. I mean, I have a baseball bat, but that's just only when I'm here by myself or me and my little 8-year-old. And you said the pineapple covering the 3? Yeah, the green pineapple covering up the 3 that says welcome. And I have a little bird flag out front. Okay. All right, Sarah, we're going to the next available WT, okay? No worries. All right. Thank you very much for your help. You're very welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I feel for the son most of all in this.
Then I said her, quote, gifts, end quote, still belong to her.
Yes, she was actually mad he bought more than she wanted him to. That's right, she wanted the bike taken.
Is that the day they went to his mom's? I saw the mom part on TT, Transparency.
Yes, I can't tell you how many lies she has told me. No wonder she didn't want me talking to people.
Exclamation point from me. I am so sorry. I knew in my gut she had to have been lying to you. Then she says,
I have to thank you. It was in the tablet messages.
And then I heart that. So remember, she's read all the tablet messages at this point. I have not.
She lied to me about Brian not being able to use the tablet when all along he just didn't want to use it. Not to mention that she had Christina texting him as well.
Well, there was no proof. She lies to everyone, though, sometimes about seemingly trivial things. I don't know how she keeps him straight, honestly, Lana says.
Decades of practice.
And I exclamation point that.
I can see the duping delight on every call to the police.
Remember to give yourself grace. You are viewing it with a different lens. Think of the Garden of Eden before and after the forbidden fruit was eaten.
Right. That is what it feels like.
You have eaten the fruit she forbade, the truth.
She used the police as her enforcers to control George's actions and emotions. There was one 911 call. She was so drunk she forgot why she called.
911, what is the location of your emergency? I don't necessarily have an emergency. It's Court. Street name? I'm sorry, what? Frank Court? And what's going on there? It's no contact thing. Okay. He's over here again. Okay. Is it branch? My fucking pantry. Is it branch court or French court? FRANCD. What's the appointment number? 3. And what's going on there? Too much. Okay. What's going on? Oh my, I gotta go with my dog. She's dead. Hold on a second, please. I'm sorry, hold on. Come on. No, I gotta go this way. I'm sorry, hold on one second. I'm so sorry to take your time. No, get out. Oh, ma'am, what's your name? Sarah. Okay. Get out of here. You picked my pantry. Hello. Hello, ma'am. Do you need a deputy? No. Excuse me? I'm sorry, what you asking? Do you need a deputy? No, not necessarily. I'm trying to get my dog. I have a blind dog and a deaf dog. I'm trying to get my man to come outside. Okay, you're dialing 911. Yes. Okay, and you don't need a deputy? He's here again. Take it. That's mine in full voucher. You're urinating in my pantry. And who's this person to you? Hello, ma'am? Yes. Who's this person? Regardless, you're going to send somebody. So, I'm okay. Regardless. I know how it works. I'm okay. That's not yours. Hello? I'm still here. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Okay. Yeah, so what do you want me to do? Put it back. Okay, you're just somebody you're over, so like do what you gotta do. All right, have a good day.
What? 100%. Sounds like she was in real, quote, danger, end quote. It's her vengeful way. I wish she had called the police on 223.
Right. During the actual trial, I had just gotten done reading her 74-page story of her life. If that had been the truth, it would be terrifying. These calls and the body cams do not match up to her version.
And if you guys want to hear a little bit of that story, Danielle Chavon has some of it, her journal entries on her channel, and punching the holes in it. So it's not, vilifying the victim.
I wish she had too. I wish Brian had woken up when she called him at almost midnight, but I don't blame him at all for blowing her drunken ramblings off.
Today's date is March 1st, 2020. The time now is approximately 16:41 hours. This is in reference to Orange County case number 20-017904. I am on the phone with, can you state your name, sir?
Brian Boone.
And I have a couple follow-up questions that I wanted to ask Brian Boone in reference to this case. Brian, just give me your date of birth for me.
5/27/75.
Okay. And do you promise and swear everything we're going to talk about is going to be true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. So we had a conversation about the incident and your involvement a few days ago, earlier this week, I believe on Tuesday. And after looking through Sarah's call logs, I noticed that she called you on February 23rd, which would be the Sunday night at around 23:46 hours, that's military time, but in normal time, that's 11:46 hours. Do you recall that phone call?
I do, well, somewhat. I was asleep when she called. So she woke me up. I was half asleep when I was talking to her. She did sound very inebriated.
Okay.
I don't remember what all she said. I'm kind of used to her calling drunk late at night and things like that, so it didn't faze me as anything out of the ordinary. I basically just kind of got her off the phone and told her I'm going back to sleep and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay. You said that she sounded inebriated, like she was drunk?
Yeah, I mean, she didn't sound like, it's hard. I was half asleep at the time. I don't think I remember hearing anything bad in the background or anything that would have caused me concern, but I don't really remember it that well.
Okay, but she was under the influence of alcohol based off of your knowledge of just knowing her and knowing when and when she's not under the influence.
Yeah. As soon as I heard her start talking, I almost kind of just zoned out away from it because she says all kinds of nonsense when she does this late at night, and I was trying to get her off the phone so I could go back to sleep. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone right now. You can get yourself right off. Get yourself right off. Your pajamas are right here, okay? Hold on, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm sorry.
okay.
Go ahead.
It's okay.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember her saying anything specifically about George?
I don't think so. I don't really remember. I really don't remember much of the conversation, honestly.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, and the phone conversation lasted for a little over 2 minutes, if I'm not mistaken?
May have been, yeah.
Okay. And you said that it's kind of normal for her to call you late at night or just kind of whenever she's under the influence and she's kind of just babbling on and you have to try and get her off the phone.
Yeah,
you don't
it's a thing that happens.
Okay. Okay, so you can't remember anything specific about what she may or may not have said, but she did sound inebriated. Does that sound correct?
Yeah.
And you couldn't hear anything in the background?
Not that.
As far as like arguing or yelling or anything like that, you couldn't hear any of that?
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you know where she was located? Did she ever say?
I was assuming she was at home.
Okay, but she didn't say.
I mean, she didn't have a lot of money. She didn't really go out anywhere, so I assumed she was at home.
Okay. But you wouldn't know where in the house she may have been?
No.
Okay, she didn't give you that information. Okay.
Not that I remember. It's possible she said something. I don't really remember, though.
Okay. All right, is there anything else that you think is important for me to know about that phone conversation?
I don't think so.
Does that typically, do you guys talk often? Like, in a day's time, like, do you guys talk daily?
More than I would like. Normally, anytime I'm calling her, it's to find out if she's actually going to be picking the child up like she's supposed to.
Right.
Like that next morning with me constantly calling.
Right.
She'll call to talk to Lucas, or sometimes when she's drunk, or she wants me to come pick her up because she's scared of George, or, I mean, any number of different things.
Okay, you're kind of like her call person, like she...
Yeah, it's gotten very old over the last couple of years, so I've started to just kind of ignore what she's saying and just try to get her gone as soon as possible.
Right.
Because, I mean, honestly, for a long time, I tried to help her out, give her refuge, get away from him, and she just kept bringing him back, and I eventually just gave up on the situation, so...
Right. Okay. All right, do you promise and swear everything that we have talked about has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, this ends the recording at 16:47 hours.
So many what ifs.
Yep.
Something tragic was bound to happen at her hands. She never met a boundary she liked. I think we see that resolve on Brian's face at scene. It was only a matter of time. No disrespect to George, but I'm glad it wasn't her son. I think George may have preferred he die instead of the child.
Wow, what a chilling thought. I can't disagree. OMG. Are you off work tomorrow?
Okay, this was out of order.
Wow, what a chilling thought. I can't disagree. It very well could have been Little Man as he got older and started trying to spread his wings. There was a pic on her Facebook of him in a suitcase.
Her ego is too fragile to handle the slightest perceived slight. You've raised a teenager. They can be mouthy.
And then Lana says, and Brian playing with it. Yes, they can be. Boys love to push their mothers.
Then I said, I know. I used it as a thumbnail.
And the trick is never to take it personally. No way Sarah could not take anything but personally.
The cops asked Brian about it after the murder.
OMG, I forgot what he said.
And then for those of you who have seen it, this will be a recap, but I'll just show you. Here is the picture that she's talking about that was on Sarah's Facebook. That is Sweet Pea. And then I also have as a bonus what Brian said to the police all in one video. Yay! So this was on February 26, 2020 at approximately 16:15 hours, so 4:15. I, Corporal Jillian Berry, made contact with Brian Boone at his residence in reference to a suspicious picture of him and his son, Little Man Boone. The pictures show Little Man inside a large suitcase, partially zipped up with a large smile on his face, both Brian and Little Man. In a sworn audio recorded interview, Brian Boone stated the picture was taken years prior and was before they were going on vacation. Brian Boone said Little Man was never unable to breathe and did not complain of any injury from climbing into the suitcase. The family joked about how big the suitcase was, so Little Man got inside to be funny, and they zipped it up for him. But he was not locked inside. Brian Boone was unsure of who took the photograph, but believes it was Sarah Boone, as he and Little Man are both in the picture, and no one else was there. I also asked Brian Boone if there had ever been any allegations of abuse to Little Man, which he denied. Brian Boone stated that he does not corporally punish Little Man either and has never noticed any injuries on Little Man beyond those of a normally active 9-year-old. He stated earlier today, Little Man told him that sometime in the past, his mother hit him on the butt with a fly swatter, but he did not sustain any injuries from this and was laughing at the time of the incident. Brian Boone allowed me to speak with Little Man in another room without him present. In a sworn audio recorded statement, I asked Little Man about the picture. He stated he did not remember the picture, which he would have been 4 or 5 years old at the time. Little Man Boone also stated he hasn't been hurt by anyone, and he would tell a police officer or adult if he was. Based on my investigation, it appears the photograph was taken for fun at the request of a child preparing for a family vacation. There were no injuries, and the child was not locked inside the suitcase for any extended period of time beyond that of taking the photograph. And then once again, this was on Sarah's Facebook, January 14th, 2016. And someone says, "Where y'all going?" And Sarah says, "Linville, North Carolina," which I believe Brian's parents have a home there. So that's the story behind that suitcase. Cute. But yeah, here you can see it's being zipped up, but it was just for the picture. So then I go back, I say, exactly, the kids may not mean anything by it other than to exert their independence, but kids can be cruel and not realize the impact. She says,
right, very true. I remember when my son got into an argument with me about curfew. Minnesota says for teenagers that it was 11 p.m. on weekdays, midnights on weekends. He kept trying to get me to lift it for him, and I refused. Even when I had to stand firm, I was actually proud of him for making the argument. Of course, I have never been a fan of my mother's favorite phrase, "because I said so." I've always believed in answering the why question.
Me too. Now we're going into May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd at 3:44. Me too. It is so important and helps children start to understand reasoning and looking at things beyond their perspectives. Found one 3-hour, 30-minute layover, 11:45 to 3:15, so we can meet for lunch. So I was looking for flights while we were talking.
This is Sunday?
Yes.
That's awesome.
The airport is Minneapolis/St. Paul, Minnesota. That is the correct one, right?
Oh, yes. I've been there a great many times. I've played the grand piano there.
I did a heart for her. So we should be able to connect around 12:30. So the question is, what do you like to eat for lunch? If you had more time, I would have suggested the Mall of America since the airport
is quite close, but we don't have that much time for walking and all that. So it's best to eat even closer. I'll leave it to you to choose, as I have never taken an Uber or Lyft and I'm not sure how close you want to be to the airport. Although the mall is 17 minutes away. If you can swing it, it would be a shame not to at least see it. Also, I can buy my husband a massage while we eat lunch.
So she's in a wheelchair, so she cannot travel alone. So her husband is driving her there. And to help him bide his time, she told him she would get him a massage. He ended up staying with us for lunch, though. He was so delightful. He asked me about you guys. He said, "How are the lovelies?"
Plus, as an added bonus, I could take you to here. My son might want to meet you. Or Twin City Grill, which is really delicious too. Or even Benihana, which could amuse my son. Sugar Bear. Me have a zillion choices. We
just sent the itinerary.
I just got it. Exciting. I just got off the phone with my son. He has set up a reservation unless you prefer a different place. By the way, the added benefit of going here is your meal is comped. So I put a heart on there. It is free as a perk of being guest there of the manager.
And then I said, perfect. She says,
awesome.
I will need room to stow a car seat. It's in a backpack style carrier. I will check the stroller when we board. So I only have the car seat, which I'll gate check, and our carry-ons. That's as stealth as I can get.
Excellent. I know there's a light rail connecting the airport directly to the Mall of America, but I don't know much about it.
Then I said, I'm so excited. Glad I waited to check again. Then we won't be rushed.
Yeah.
Just have to get back in enough time to go back through the gate check before boarding. And then I did a little cartwheel. She said,
right. Do you have priority boarding? I don't know how it works for layovers when leaving the airport. I've never done it.
I said, I have clear. Calling Delta now to confirm re-entry process. I haven't done it at the airport, but LAX and ATL are pretty similar.
Right. And I know MSP is a lot like ATL. As for your car seat and carry-on, I can ask my husband if it is okay to stow it in our car if the MOA doesn't have a place to do it for us. They stow my wheelchair when I rent a scooter.
No worries. Hopefully it will fit somewhere in the restaurant. I wish we could give you a full ride to and from the airport, but we own a Golf with my wheelchair. I don't think
Sugar Bear, the seats and the carry-ons would fit in it. Maybe I'll club my son and steal his LOL JK. And then I just put haha. He has to bring a shipment of whiskey.
No clubbing.
This is exciting. An Uber or Lyft driver will instantly know where the mall is. We can meet you at one of the gates so you and Sugar Bear don't have to walk around wondering where to go. How big are your carry-ons? The scooter has storage, is what I'm thinking.
And then I said exclamation point. Diaper bag and my laptop bag that doubles as my purse.
Oh, yeah.
I think she means yay, but she's spelling it yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have room.
It's the car seat that will take space. Thumbs up.
I bet we can stow that in customer service with my wheelchair.
And then I just put fingers crossed.
Right. We will make it work. So how much time for actual lunch do you estimate we will have? The MOA, Mall of America, is 17 minutes from the airport.
Awesome.
Did you ever see Hamilton live?
So these times are a little bit wonky because I am in California and she's in Minneapolis. And then during these text messages, I get on the plane. So that's why you see this big jump here. We're going Sunday, May 4th at 12:12 a.m. And I think for her, that'd be 1:12 a.m. And then 2:14, which would have been 3. I think she was asleep. I did not. Tried to get tickets though. I will text you once we board and then right before we take off so you know how we're pacing on time. 6:42.
Sounds great. I must admit, I'm a bit nervous, but it's a happy nervous.
And then I did a heart. Same. We'll be fine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Waiting on the lift.
Holy cats, it's like 4:45 your time. Hopefully, you and Sugar Bear can rest on the plane.
Yes, I twisted my hair so I don't have to worry what it looks like when I wake up.
Nice.
So then 8:56, we're on board. And she says,
shows you're on time. Are you in the air?
And then I sent a picture of the two of us in the air. And she said,
OMG.
And I was like, not yet. And then she sent me a picture of herself that morning. And I said, good morning. She says,
morning. Have a great flight. I bet you're happy to be heading home.
Going home is always bittersweet. We'll be glad to get Sugar Bear back in routine.
Oh, I bet.
Then I said, it's so crazy. We're going to see each other soon.
Totally.
I'm excited.
Same. My son is looking forward to meeting you as well.
Lucked out and got an aisle instead of a middle. Backing up now. See you soon.
Aisle is my favorite too. See you soon.
So we flew out on Delta Comfort Plus or whatever on the first leg. And then the second leg, we were able to get a first class seat. But it was like we bought it, obviously, less than 48 hours before we left. Aisle is my favorite too. See you soon. So Sunday, May 4th at 11:33 a.m.
I see you're coming in 15 minutes early. I think best place to meet should be east side entrance of the Mall of America. It's where the buses, light rail, shuttles, taxis, and Uber Lyft usually go. I'm going to try to get there a bit earlier so I can check out a motorized wheelchair and get that out of the way. See you soon. We're on our way to the Mall of America.
So then I said, okay, we are still making our way out of the sky.
Sounds good. The weather is glorious.
And I heart that. Just landed. We'll let you know once I'm waiting on the lift. We're pulling into a gate and then need to wait for car seat at gate check. It's happening. And I do a little clap. She does a thumbs up. We're just pulling into the Mall of America now. And then she sends me this picture so I can recognize where I'm going. I send the heart. It's right in front of this aquarium, Minnesota Sea Life Aquarium. That's where I'm meeting her.
This is Eastside Level 1. First thing you see walking through the door, this is where we shall meet you. Heart and sunglasses face.
And then she showed me that angle of it. East Ramp is what I get as an option in the Lyft app. Does that sound right?
Yes, that is absolutely right.
Perfect.
Man, I wish we had longer so Sugar Bear could play at some of the awesome sites.
ETA is 12:37.
Awesome. I am barely able to sit still. I'm here, and we have the electric chair all checked out.
May 4th at 3:44 p.m.
I'm still blown away that I actually met you, and we had lunch. Thank you so much. It was a blast. And Sugar Bear is the best kid.
And then I hearted that and I said, we had a great time. Thank you for your graciousness and hospitality. We're in our seat. And she hearted that. And then there we are on our way back. He's watching Beethoven.
Great movie.
So 7:18 that night, we're at LaGuardia. It's raining. And she says at 8:46,
welcome home. Sorry it's raining. Today ended as nicely as it begun.
Glad to hear that. I'm laying in my bed. Grateful.
Nice. You're probably going to sleep so well tonight. I was so impressed. You were carrying that huge backpack and Sugar Bear, having flown a few hours. and carrying Sugar Bear at the same time. Oh, and you have Sweet Pea on the way too.
Then I said, LOL, thanks. I was trying to be as efficient as possible. I still could have dropped one bag had I checked it. Wow. Getting into the condo was another matter. Imagine a stroller and a suitcase. Luckily, they both have wheels. And a sleepy 1 year. Oh, no, he was 2. No, he was 1. He was about to be 2. And a sleepy 1-year-old.
OMG, are you off work tomorrow?
Car seat on my back, diaper bag under the stroller so I can go faster. But maneuvering was a bit tricky. Then I work from home Monday and Friday. All Sugar Bear stuff is prepped for school.
Good. Does anyone else know you and I met or were planning to meet? I don't want to say the wrong thing if not.
My mom, but she doesn't know about the true crime part. She said, I only told her in case I got in an accident or something and she got a call. I didn't want her to be befuddled.
Smart. I was just thinking. I never met Sarah herself. And that's fine with me.
And then she does the crazy laugh. And then I do the shock face. She says,
P&J tried to get me to Florida for the trial because of the documentary.
No use in wasting good ice cream on her. So that's a reference from the text messages where they were always talking about they're going to get together, have ice cream on the couch, and she'll tell her everything because Lana made it a point. Please hold. So that is the good old ice cream reference. Then she says,
but I have to call and schedule treatments in order to go.
So also as a side note, at this point, she has read the text messages where Sarah lied to P and J so that she wouldn't go to Florida. I don't know that, but she knows that at this point. So then I ask her, are you in the dock? ? So this is the first time I'm hearing of anything like this. So I'm like, as far as, I don't think I knew at all that she was going to go out there. So I was like, are you in the dock? And she said,
they want me in it.
And I asked, what is it about?
Well, originally it was about Sarah Boone and domestic violence, but they realized she was not a victim. So it's going to take a different view. They wanted my part to be pretty prominent. But she and I calling it quits does change that. I told them I didn't want to participate in a sympathetic documentary.
Did she realize she's not a victim?
And they said, we aren't so sure it's going to be that way. Or, quote, we aren't so sure it's going to be that anymore, end quote. She doesn't realize it.
They should do a doc on you.
She believes she is one through and through. OMG.
Quote, how I befriended a murderer, end quote, as told by Lana J. Albert.
Don't tell anyone, but we are in talks.
Heart. I won't say a word. I would definitely watch it.
I'm not supposed to talk about that, so I can't give you details, hey? You already know the exclusive.
That would be a hit on the film festival circuit, and I am sure it would get sold. Oh my God.
I've told you things no one else knows. You could totally write a book on her.
I will watch it along with everyone else.
You might actually get that chance.
And then I did a heart.
I have not told anyone you and I met either. They would have wanted a camera out if they had known. I didn't want to deal with that. I was nervous enough as it is. Though the second I met you, the nerves disappeared.
Then I said, the fact that you tried to talk her into a path home and she refused is epic. Glad she ultimately didn't because she is dangerous. But I wonder if she had any regrets. Does she accept responsibilities for those decisions? And then I put, same. It was like meeting an old friend. Talking about the nerves, and she hearted that.
If I know Sarah, she hasn't accepted that she is guilty. To her, it is about the appeal. She is going to blame her lawyers, the judge, possibly me. I told her to say nothing at her sentencing. She insisted she had nothing to lose and was determined to let the world have it.
Well, she let us have it. Then Judge Kranick let her have it! Exclamation point.
Court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the Department of Corrections with credit time served. Court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the Department of Corrections.
Right. I liked that he didn't say a word of his own, though I was surprised. He just dropped the life sentence and let her rot.
I remember in her text to Philip, she thought, quote, life, unquote, was a threat. I guess that was true. If she felt she had nothing to lose, then she says,
yeah.
I liked it later. In the moment, I was waiting for him to unleash. Ultimately, what he did was better, and it took time to fully appreciate that level of gray rocking.
I think he did it to protect his verdict, as people were saying he might have retaliated for the letters and the pro se. Even in my character witness statement, every word I said was careful. I thought she would get pissed that I asked the judge for mercy, because that would mean she realized I agreed with the guilty verdict. I didn't think she was a murderer, but I thought she needed to go to prison for manslaughter. I think she is a murderer now. The more I watch the trial again,
And then I just put an exclamation point.
the sofa guy pointed out things I didn't see before.
Shout out to Paul. Can't roll his eyes hard enough.
I'm now watching him. I wish I could go back and knock some sense into myself.
Then I say, I think she is a murderer because if she had to do it over, I don't think she would change anything. Originally, I thought it was a tragic accident that happened as a result of a lesson gone too far, right? Like Sarah's teaching him a lesson. This is what it feels like.
Right.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in his case and we were playing. I put him in his case and we were playing.
Real ransom. Might want to get video for it extra. Because I got this.
Sarah.
Real ransom.
Sarah. Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
Oh. That's what I feel like when you ching on me.
Sarah!
Fuck you!
Fucking breathe, Sarah!
Yeah. You should probably shut the fuck up.
Sarah. So then I just said, give yourself grace. And I did praying hands. And she said,
I try to. It's hard when the true crime listeners think I am as bad as she is. I really did go all in on helping her. Even after she was convicted, I had a lot of misgivings. I still stayed with her.
I think you didn't want to abandon her or have her feel abandoned right after getting a life sentence. You're not a monster. You have compassion.
Truly, if it weren't for you calling me out on video in January, I asked myself if I would still be friends with her. Then I think eventually no. It would have taken longer, but something else would have done it.
Spouses do that if their partner is convicted and then eventually leave. I wonder if there's a name for it.
So do I. I truly had a how did I get here moment.
It would have dawned on you eventually. After I heard you speak at sentencing, I had a feeling that Sarah had manipulated you. I had no proof until the text messages, and it was all laid bare.
And then she says, just wait until you hear the phone calls. I only wish I hadn't been watching your videos like you were the enemy. Luckily, I never made any personal statements or attacks against you.
Technically, I was the enemy. I was nosy and in search of the full picture. Boy, you sure riled her up. Ha, now I know why she was terrified of you. It still creeps me out that she knows who I am. She isn't going to do anything. She can't even buy commissary, and no lawyer will touch her. Ha, is my response, the little reaction emoji. Florida PI Sam cautions me to be careful about disclosing details about my location. I posted 2 photos from my main terrace and she gave me a tongue lashing. Gotta be mindful. I don't know. She has friends in low places. She being Sarah. Yeah, some detectives are quite good. Unless she made them since March, I don't believe she knows anyone who has any sort of reach. Chances are she would go after me first. I represent her biggest threat to her ego. And then I respond with the exclamation points. Although eventually I hope she will forget we exist in her new world as she becomes institutionalized and the years go by. If she were on the outside, I have no doubt she'd have a suitcase of sorts for me. She really did want to control me. Glad you escaped. How does someone get like that? I wondered if it had to do with the loss of her parents and brothers. I wonder about the truth behind the relationship with Philip. She told me it was complicated and had some deep-seated issues stemming from the loss of their mother. Seated? Seated. I can't remember which word. Seated. But in the text, she intentionally mentions the mother. Seems like you wouldn't sweep the complicated under the rug to talk about favorite flowers. I think she was guilting him. It's like kicking the elephant in the room and hoping it doesn't notice. I wonder if he was deployed when their mom died. Right, but why not acknowledge and address the real problem? Also, he was younger than a high school senior when their dad died, but it's not using that as an excuse. But he's not using that as an excuse to be a murderer. Also, he was younger than a high school senior when their mom died, but he's not using that as an excuse to be a murderer. There's one phone call where she is telling me about the events around that time in detail, and then I respond with the exclamation point. I didn't know this one. It's an egghorn, so I looked it up and put in, is it deep-seated or deep-seated? I love egghorns. A lot was about money. She portrayed herself as having to work to support the family after their dad died and their business collapsed. Thank you. Owens tried to elicit that in testimony. She froze on it, though. We never got the story. She really doesn't want people to get to know her. I think she prides herself on that fact, which is why she went nuts when I pulled. I think she prides herself on that fact, which is why she went nuts when I pulled away. She wants people to know an idealized version. She constructs who she wants to be. It's not real. Exactly. But things got through between us. She would start telling me that she never felt close to anyone since her mother died until she met me. I would always think, I hope your husband and son could say that at one time. Right. Boy, am I glad she didn't get out and move to Minnesota. Was that the plan? She was really talking about it. I had to remind her of her son. Head blown emoji from me. You would have become her primary caregiver. I have no doubt she would have wanted to live here or something. My husband was like, not a chance in hell. And then I give her the haha reaction. Smart man. That was a recipe for disaster. Even I wasn't that deluded. We have a liquor cabinet. I no longer drink, but my husband and son partake one in a while. My son sometimes brings home $400 bottles of spirits. Perks of the job. And I give her a thumbs up reaction. Did she want to live in your place? My jaw is on the floor. She didn't directly say, I want to live with you, but come on. Taking off from jail with her belongings and hitting a plane here, I'm the only one she knew, and she couldn't afford a place of her own. Right. Scared face emoji. She's definitely the master of dry begging. And then I did a laughy face. She did the little purple devil. And I link the dry begging video that we all went over. I'll link that video in the iCards if you haven't seen it. I did a reaction with y'all about the dry begging. Oh my God, I read this. When you get the phone calls, boy, are you gonna hear it. And then I did exclamation point. She was gaslighting when she said she asked. She asked every chance she got. Or actually, I think I meant she was gaslighting when she said she didn't ask. That was part of her goodbye letter to Lana, was that I never asked you for any money. Oh, did you get my email? I sent you my final message to Sarah. And then I did exclamation point. Not yet. We'll look in a bit. Just got home with Sugar Bear and I'm rocking him. Oh, nice. I bet it's nice to be back on routine. Yes. And in my own bed. Oh, I bet. I felt bad when you talked about sleeping on a couch while pregnant. You've got mad stamina. Lol. My sister's not the best communicator, and I guess she thought we would wake up at 4 a.m. when she got off work and go in the bed. Oh, did you two ever make up? It will blow over. Her I love you was also sorry. I couldn't respect her boundaries in the moment. Ugh, true. Oh, I think she was worried I was leaving town and I was running around that morning getting ready. So asking a million questions and blocking my way into the bathroom was the way to solve the problem. Sorry, I thought you were describing Sarah, and then I did laughy face. Oh boy, it's all good. I was just there. I was there several days, and she barely said more than 5 sentences to me until Saturday when I was leaving to go to see my other sister. Oh man, I'm sorry. It was her week, her celebration. It was fine. But when I make plans with someone else, let me keep my plans. Right. How is her transplant doing? It was an odd visit. I'm proud of her, though, and she did ask me to place her pin on her during the ceremony. What an honor. So she was glad I came. The rest was just the traits of a poor communicator. Yeah, I can see why you describe the return home as bittersweet. How often do you travel there? And then Tuesday, May 6th at 11:53. Hey, good morning. For the life of me, I can't find the tablet message where I'm talking about HIPAA clinic. I know you read live, so if you come across it, it is not your fault. I wrote so much to Sarah that it's a needle in a skyscraper size haystack. And then I don't see that till 2:02 when I say I'm not reading live anymore. I'll look through the last of the text and see if I can find it. I can always edit it out if it pops up on screen. Couldn't maintain the live reading schedule, is way too wonky. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't make your job easier. No worries. And then I put in a screenshot of my views from November through April. And I said, you can never tell what people want to see. These are the text messages. I got them in March and started reading them so you can see the viewership spiked. Did your membership increase too? Yeah, I know that with the tablet stuff, the star of that madness is Sarah. I was just playing with Summa Cum Loudmouth because she posted a short that poked fun at me. She said I had a fetish for middle-aged women who look like pet rocks. So I responded with a bunch of puns and made her laugh. So I did a laughy face to that. Women? Are there more than Sarah? Haha, who knows? And so then she's got a clip of, she links Suma's short for me. And she screenshots her responses. And she said, oh my God, how did you know? Unfortunately, we had a very rocky relationship. She chipped away at my soul until there was nothing left but granite. How igneous of me. And then Suma said, ha ha ha, at least you don't lose your sense of humor. I always worry about anyone exposed to her. And then I did crying laughy face. I would have told her to kick rocks while the public stones me. I could have told her kick rocks while the public stones me. Not sure why, but I love that expression, kick rocks and pound sand. Haha, I said pound sound a lot with Sarah. Something visceral about it. I think in December I said the wasp can pound sand too. Oops. I didn't mean it. Sarah can pound sand, and I deserve to eat some too. Lol. And then I am sending pictures. It was Tuesday night, so it was members night at the museum. And so I took Sugar Bear to see that. Night at the museum. She said, really nice. I would have loved to see him at Sea Life. Next time. Awesome. And then I just send her more pictures. I took one of the pictures. Well, I cropped it right there. It took up a whole page, so I just skipped to the next photo. For our purposes, lovelies. but there he is in front of the mammoth. He's so excited. And then she says, wow, look at those exhibits. I'd be just as excited. And then I took a picture of the manatee, which I shared with you guys. One of the manatees Sarah saved. And then the laughy face. I don't know if you guys remember that. And Sarah was like, I was a great parent. I was the room parent. I helped save manatees. And then Lana says, LMAO, 5 exclamation points, laughy cry face. Lazy Gamer is reading Sarah's 1,400-page appeal document. Holy crap. That kid is insane. And I mean that as a compliment because I'm impressed as hell. Same. Brian filed an objection to Sarah. He did, just today. So Thursday, May 8th at 6:26 p.m. Hey, I got contacted by Katrina Marie regarding my mention of her in the tablet messages. Thank God I didn't insult her or anything. Oh, the unmasking videos? How did she get your info? Katrina? She contacted me before on Facebook when she wanted me to interview with her. Oh, and I do know how to spell prototype. I was copying Julian's words. Lol. Oh, and you made me laugh mentioning my accent. Is it really distracting? Prototype? I don't remember. No, it's adorable. Our waitress had a strong accent a la Fargo. He mentioned a production company called Prototype with an I. Oh, nice. Yes, she did. Yes. I remember. I thought that was how the company spelled it. I meant to Google it. When she contacted me, I was scared I might have insulted her or her channel. If that had happened, I would have been forced to go public to apologize to her. I think she was hoping I had, hey? Then she would have wanted a public mea culpa and probably a bunch of questions. Ugh. Happy belated birthday. That girl never quits. Belated? My birthday is the 20th. Wait, did you have one too? It is? That is the day before my daughter's. How did I mix that up? What day is your birthday? Question mark. Head blown. It's okay. Yesterday. I hope I didn't miss yours. Oh, crap. I thought it was the 10th. I'm so sorry. Happy belated birthday to you. I'm putting that into my calendar, and then I did a heart. Don't be sorry. I'm low-key about my own day, just that I'm a Taurus. Well, yes, we are both Taurus. And your daughter, too. She's a Gemini through and through. So she is later in May. I'm right on the cusp myself, but I identify far more Taurus than Gemini in traits. I did a heart reaction. I have a May and June Gemini child. Nice. I'm checking to see who's compatible with Gemini. I'm surprised she watches my videos after I ghosted her. Maybe someone told her? Someone did. She contacted me asking if I had been listening, and I hadn't yet. I was planning to this weekend. Does she want to interview you about the text messages? She wants to interview me for anything, hey? And then I did the emoji where you stick your tongue out. I didn't realize she was still covering Sarah. She hadn't said anything about her for the past month. Was there a reason why you ghosted her? You don't have to tell me, but she mentioned she didn't want people to know she checked out your video. Someone sent her a screenshot. Lol. She lied about lying. Oh, the Brian's son thing? Yes. Why lie? Then when I pointed out that she did in fact use his name and photo for profit, she gaslit me. It was only his baby pictures. That is still a child. Good grief. That whole video annoyed me. I am not a Boone fan, as you know, but when Sarah directly called her out, she said she would never do that out of her own mouth. That whole video, that whole Sarah responded video was clickbait. So that was when Sarah said, oh, I know you've been profiting off my son's photo. And this creator was like, no, I haven't. And when I put it in the comments, someone was like, well, Tanika, just because you don't say his name doesn't mean she... And I was like, yeah, she could do whatever she wants. But she told Sarah that she didn't use his name or his picture, and she did. And then she complained to her husband that Sarah was mean to her. That was the video. Anyway, Right. Yeah, at least own it. Exactly. I'm just relieved I didn't insult her. And then I said, haha, be bad, be all the way bad, ma'am. Then I would have probably had to publicly apologize. Ha ha ha. Why publicly? Just tell her. Well, the insult would have been aired in public, so I would have had to either do it on her channel or record my own video doing it. Oh, gotcha. Speaking of recording your own video, what's going on with your channel? Oh my God, I wanted to talk to you about it on Sunday in person, but the day didn't go in that direction. I was really, really touched by your response to my email. I totally want to take you up on your advice since you know the equipment and have been successful growing your station. Girl, I don't know the microphones though, but that's neither here nor there. I'm on what, microphone 5 now? Anyway, she wanted to expand on her channel. I shared a video with you guys so that her son would have something to remember her by, which is a lot of why I have my channels. Anyway, I think there is a great potential there, and you already know about public speaking as a former radio person. I can't thank you enough for offering advice, which means time. Yeah, it was an amateur station, Scrub and Cygnus Radio, but I thought it was fun. YouTube is for all kind. If there's room for a 54-year-old breastfeeding mom of a 1-year-old going on about true crime, there's room for you telling your journey of polycystic kidney disease, eh? And then I did a kissy face emoji with the heart. Lol. Well, you look amazing. My mom fell out of her chair when I told her your age. Lol. Happiness is a youth elixir. Absolutely true. Although I see my age in the mirror, my face is moving south. I got to start my facelift fund after Sweet Pea is born. I also could hug you for your response back about Sarah and me. You are a consummate optimist. Follow your heart. Who knows how it all ends? Maybe she has an epiphany that you were the best thing that happened to her. You get to decide if you want to engage. Maybe she's met a boundary she can respect. It can happen. Oi, the new American Pope is taking shots about Trump and Vance on Twitter. My grandmother is turning over in her grave. Right. But I noticed how she treated Brian and George. When people mean something to her, she bothers the crap out of them. With me, it is as if I never existed. I'm okay though. If she were to completely change, I don't know how I would respond. Fair. Holy cats, that's right. New Pope. The Pope is an American? It's all we've covered today. Waiting on white smoke. First one, yep. Wow. And then I link a couple of the articles of the new Pope. I think he's out of Chicago. Holy cats. Looks like he tweeted this prior to becoming Pope. Interesting. I hope she doesn't hate me. What does she make of the text messages? I asked my mother not to listen to them. I was worried she would get riled up about people making comments negative about me. She likes to read the comments. Oh, wait. He keeps his old Twitter? I was wondering how he got a handle that fast. She also thought Sarah Boone was straight up guilty and kept telling me to not mess with her. And then I responded, haha. So she had everybody telling her, run, run. I just hope there isn't any drama. Let's unite the nation. Why would your grandmother turn over in her grave? My mom doesn't hate you. She likes you. And then I hearted that. I told her we met Sunday. Grandmother, she died pre-internet. So the idea of the Pope yelling at the U.S. president would be unsettling. Behavior unbecoming a Pope. It's like neighborly gossip on steroids. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. I agree with what the Pope said, but should it have been him that said it? Right? Time will tell. Pope Francis was forward thinking. Didn't shun us alphabet folks. We'll see what happens. Right. I hope it doesn't turn into a back and forth that devolves. I really liked that fact about him. Same. But Sarah told me she voted for Kamala. Summa cum loudmouth was really wondering about that. And then I put exclamation points. she must really be political. A lot of what she refers to are political interests. And then I said, I'm still trying to figure out if I like her channel. She hasn't hit her stride yet. There are some videos I really like, others I am not picking up what she is putting down. Update, I absolutely love Suma's channel and I'm a member, but this was back in May when I had just started watching her. I think Lana's link was probably one of the earlier videos I saw of Suma. She is very critical of me, but not cruel about it. Yeah, I didn't like that she doesn't like the sound of children's laughter. Question mark? What? Hey? Right? One of my favorite sounds. That's one of the most wonderful sounds in the world. What's that song? Which song? Let the children's laughter remind us of... Let me Google. Whitney, the greatest love of all. Yes, greatest love. I performed that one. Nice. And then I link the Whitney Houston song. I think this was in reference to Suma talking about kids laughing outside of her apartment, if I remember this correctly, which in that context, I can understand why she didn't like the laughter. Or the sirens. We should start giving them names, the sirens in New York, like how SKR has Linda and some other inanimate objects named inanimate annoyances. I just turned it on. This one is going to be stuck in my mind. That keyboard is the Rhodes patch on a Yamaha DX7. I owned it. Sunglasses emoji. And then I hearted that. God, what a voice. How cool were you? I could never get the keyboard down. I was a huge nerd. Played violin in elementary. We had a piano at home. Couldn't play it to save my life. But a violin, what an amazing instrument. I loved the fact that Pa played it on Little House. Little House, heart eye emoji. Yeah. All of the seasons are on Peacock. Oh, I might have to watch. I get that for free. Totally. I have mine for free, but I paid for the premium version to get rid of commercials. Okay. Was Nellie Olson a narcissist? Yes, until she met her husband! Exclamation point. I had a great aunt who was just like her mother. She married money and tried to lord it over everyone. Mrs. Olson was too. Wow. That Nellie clone Nancy sure was one. I am not sure what she means there. Somebody let me know. Don't laugh. I would eat my beans out of a camping gear so I could pretend to be like Laura. It was blue speckled enamel. And then I did laughing hysterical face with tears. Nice. That show is awesome. Going to take a nap and try to record some Sarah videos later. Owens lied to Judge Cranick about Brian in some sidebars. He did? Uh-oh. Well, sleep well. I look forward to listening. Or he misspoke. I still love hearing sidebars. Cranick was a family court judge, and he said that if Brian filed for a modification of the alimony and custody arrangement due to a significant change in circumstances, then he couldn't owe alimony. Owen said no such thing had been filed. Cranick pushed and said something was filed. That was since was granted relocation. Since he was granted relocation, interesting. Owen said that was approved, but nothing filed about alimony or child support. So see, that's why I think at the time of the trial, Owens had not read Sarah's family filings. You guys let me know what you think. That was a lie. Totally. Why would he lie? So did he really have Sarah's family court file? Yes, he did. He could have just gone by what Sarah said. He did? He had once talked about representing her in family court. Why lie? Cranick could pull it up. That is a long story! Exclamation point. The lying confuses me. Maybe he believed it was true. Maybe he believed it was true. I would be more inclined to think that was the case. Sarah might not have told him. Cranick pressed. He knew Brian couldn't be held in contempt. Owens offered to do a proffer with Brian in front of the judge and outside of the presence of the jury. When was this sidebar? During trial? Question mark. I'm still reading the transcript. So I don't know if that happens. Yes, during trial, the day before Brian testified. So he might have told her he was going to take her family case too at that time. Interesting. He knew who she was at that point. He also knew Brian wasn't in contempt. Wonder why he considered taking it. He never filed a notice of appearance. No, there lies the long story. After you get your arrest sometime, I should tell you via phone. It's a lot of typing. Haha, it's a date. Lol. Okay. For those of you guys who are like, why do you say lol instead of LOL? It reminds me of lol cows. If you know, you know. Sometimes I say LOL, but I like saying lol. Yeah, so this, I'm wondering if he actually got the files. If you guys remember P trying to hand Sarah some files at the sentencing right after, and the bailiffs were not having it, especially Eyelash. So she was like, oh, no, 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 no. And then he gave them to Owens, and he said, I'll mail them, because the bailiff also wouldn't let Owens hand it to Sarah, seeing how P had just handed it to Owens. Like, ma'am, nobody has read this. Nobody has copied it. You cannot have it. We know it's not legal mail because some random dude just handed it to your lawyer after introducing himself. So they don't even know each other. But yeah, I thought that was like a little weird. Let me know what you guys think. Also, I want to clarify. So Brian could have owed the alimony, but it wasn't due, right? It was pending if he owed it or not. So that's why he didn't have to pay it. And that's why he couldn't be held in contempt. Because if he paid it and then the motion was won in his favor, was Sarah going to give him back the money? No. So he didn't have to pay it until, and we're still waiting on Judge Jackson. He didn't have to pay it until he was ordered to, under the new agreement post modification. Haha, it's a date. LOL. Lol. Okay, sleep well. So Friday, May 9th at 2:07 a.m. I sent her the link to Sarah Boone's Sidebar Madness because Corsican was reading. This was part 2. She was reading them on her channel, and I wasn't sure if Lana saw. And we would text at all hours, so 2:07 was not unusual for us, per se. I wasn't sleeping well. She wasn't sleeping well. So, yeah, it just worked out. Texts are non-linear anyway. So she responds right away. Oh. Are you making siren noises? You're doing the British sirens. I saw this, and she mentions you. You're awake? Does she? I'm a night owl. Just started watching. She mispronounces your name, but she asked if someone is reading out the tablet messages. I thought the conversation about Sarah's niceness for when someone is useful was interesting. And one of her listeners tells her about you. Cool. Yes, I agree. Oh, this is part 2. I was in her chat the other day. I've watched her for years, mainly when she covers a topic I'm following, like Depth v. Heard. I haven't heard this one. I had watched part 1. She mentioned you in part 1. Yeah, I remember her too. I didn't mention her to Sarah, I don't think. Of course, I forgot about the minutia I spoke to Sarah about. I keep reminding myself to set SKR straight about a few things he gets wrong. He thinks text costs $1 to send and doesn't know about Free Message Saturday. Did SKR do a new video? I'm not sure. I'm looking. Oh, that's odd. Pictures are $1, text 50 cents. Is Free Message Saturday restricted to 2 texts, or are they all day? Last one was 6 days ago. They are all day! Exclamation point. Oh, have to go watch. Yes, pics are $1, but if the picture is rejected, you get the $1 back. Nice. Plus, if you don't have stamps, you can write someone COD, cash on delivery. Can you mail in pictures for the cost of postage? And for you guys, you young people, COD is old school. I think now you guys have like Klarna, like pay later. So basically someone ships you something and you pay for it once it's delivered. You pay all the postage. They don't do that now. At least I don't think so. They might, but that was a very common thing back in the day. Very early, I started ordering up things, 1-800, and then COD. And then it costs the recipient. It costs the recipient the stamp if they want to read it. COD reminds me of my childhood. I'm not sure. I use Amelia, which uploaded the pics I wanted to send and converted them to physical pics. And then I do a thumbs up there. So I wonder if that is why Nicole prefers talking on the phone with Sarah so much instead of sending text messages, so she doesn't have to pay both ways. She just has to pay the 13.5 cents to talk to Sarah. 13.5 cents per minute, so it's like $5 for a 30-minute call versus like text could add up really fast. Although you can use, I think it's like 3,500 characters, so you can get quite a bit in, but again, I think in that instance, calling is cheaper. Remember when Sarah went off on Philip for not transferring his credits to her? Head blown or mind blown. I remember, OMG, prison stamps are cheaper, 40 cents, but they can't be used for music or movies. By the way, in part 1, the voir dire process for jury selection was really interesting. I've always wanted to serve on a high profile case. Me too. My husband has been called up twice. Me? Never. I've read some of the jury selection questions. Owens and Henderson are interesting. Yes. I didn't remember, jury selection was 4 days. The trial was short. Yes, it was. I know a hurricane disrupted jury selection too. They started after the hurricane. That first week was bust, the week of the 7th. Yeah, so they had jury selection that Monday, then they had 4 days off. So when Sarah's going on about she just denied the plea deal and didn't want to ask questions, ma'am, you had 4 weekdays and 2 weekends to ask questions about that plea deal. And I'm sure if you would have come in on Monday and said you'll take the plea, Kranick would have been, thank God. But you know, potato, patata. I wondered if the court pushing through the trial in spite of the hurricane could be considered by an appellate court. I think both sides didn't know what to do with Brian. Probably not. Defense got an extra 4 days as a result. True. They recessed on the 7th and had the next 4 days off. I remember Owens drove home, which surprised me. That was a 6-hour drive, he said. It was interesting. The hurricane was called Milton, and that is his town. Yes, probably worried about his family. We talked about that. He called me while he was on the road. Or getting away from the storm. He wanted to check on his family. Sarah was upset about it. I hope he had hands-free phone connectivity. I'm such a mom. Haha, yes, he did. Upset? Yes, she wanted him to visit her. Leave it to selfish Sarah. Never mind your family in a storm that everybody's worried about, so much so that court is closed. Come and see me in jail. Why? WTF? If that were her husband, she would have wanted him home. Tony too. OMG, that woman. I know. She had no empathy. I had to tell her it would be okay. She about had a serious nervous breakdown just before the trial. Exclamation point. So they wanted to visit her the next weekend, according to the transcripts from Thursday of the following week, not realizing Brian was due to testify the next day. Tried anything and everything to distract. Right. She had over 4 years to prep. She's ridiculous, as she likes to say. Sarah freaked out about not having her physical phone. She was convinced that the prosecution had access to it. Lol. Ridiculous. She would have been in a straitjacket without you. Possibly. I had to tell her to breathe. She kept asking me to tell her everything was going to be all right. What convinced her of that? They couldn't turn it on. Why would they have the physical phone? What a great friend you were for her, talking her off the ledge. She believed they didn't get everything off of it when they scanned the files and pictures and videos off of it. Literally. By the way, you were cracking me up on your reading of the tablet messages. Her drunk self couldn't remember what was going on there. She never had a forensic person analyze it in 4 years. You read some of my words as if I were a valley girl, hysterical. I did sound like that sometimes. Then I reacted to that. Right. I agree with you. You ladies sound like high school girls sometimes, at least in my head. Yeah, quite embarrassing. These texts are lighter. The ones to Brian and her son were very heavy. Overall, she became less nasty when you entered the chat. I was trying to take her mind off of the crazy situation of her being pro se. That is good, though she had her moments. I have 43 stamps. I've thought about just transferring to her since I'm not going to need them anymore. So those are the prison stamps. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Anyway, the early ones were mentally taxing. I can't imagine how her son felt reading them. He's related to the writer. I could read the ones to him. I couldn't read the ones to him after a while. Triggered my own childhood trauma, and I didn't want to re-trigger him if he ever ran across, I think I meant them. You made the right decision. I am beginning to believe it was due to a lack of control, quite possibly. Or she couldn't bear to think his opinion of her was less than stellar. And then I did the exclamation point reaction. She abused them as a means to exert control over something, not sure. She just became less abusive once she connected with you. Her outlook improved and she harassed them less. She didn't stop, but I'm sure they noticed the difference. I hope so. I still owed Brian an apology, but he's welcome too, lol. Very likely, she's very focused on her image. Her version of herself is so distorted from reality. I don't know if her phone calls changed or not. That is right. She told the detectives that she was an outstanding mother to her son.
I am an outstanding mother to my son. Okay. I excel at everything.
Not even close. Oh, right. The text certainly did. I could look at the call log. Perhaps they decreased. I was really ashamed of myself when I was drinking heavily. Even though I took pains not to drink around my son, it still affected him. I would be curious to see if I had an effect. When I first showed up on phone versus previously. Right, not even close. So distorted because I believe she believes, as in she doesn't see her statements as untruths. Right, she deluded herself. Same, I would try to drink wine late at night, not in front of her, but it affects our behavior and habits as we plan our sober times. Also, just the behavior of when you are a drinker, even when you are sober, it's a strange lifestyle. You completely understand. I wish I had sought therapy at that time instead. I should have too. I was screwed up by the death of my father. I would have to dissect the data, but there were definitely less angry texts. And then she did the smiley face with the glasses. Cool. My main thing with Sarah and her son is she would deny him agency and autonomy. Oh, very much so. Classic sign of an abusive parent. He is only meant to do what he is told per her thinking. He has no free will. She blames Brian for not making him talk to her. WTF. Even if the child doesn't want to, you are setting him up for abusive relationships in life. Given some of the strange choices she made about his Christmas gifts, she froze her view of him to that little 8-year-old boy. It's not right. We don't have to like our parents just because. I agree. Right. In the 74-page manifesto, she spoke of him like he was some sort of salve. Like when George would hurt her, she'd call her son so she could hear his little voice. Exclamation point reaction. I remember thinking, please, I hope you didn't put this heavy subject on him. Even now, I let Sugar Bear know he has choices and has a right to consent. My mom asked his permission to touch his hair, and I was so proud of her. He has a right not to be touched unless he is in danger, if he doesn't want to. I really admire how you are with him. And then I did a heart reaction. I'm not blowing smoke either. I really do. Your direction is always done on a positive fashion. I'm trying a very different approach with him. I have enough distance from my childhood, also from raising my daughter. It's great. Redirection is important. Just saying no can become just do it because I said so. Exactly. I always hated that. I always hated the because I said so approach. One day he will be bigger than me. What if he wants me to do something because he says so, or his wife or anyone? It's not healthy. As he has a better command of language, we can discuss choices more fully, but I don't want to crush his autonomy. He will continue to respect you because you earned it. You inspired him, not controlled him. And then I did a heart reaction. I hope so. Time will tell. I definitely didn't do a great job giving my daughter the tools to talk through reasons and choices. We try and do it now, but it's not a well-exercised muscle, and I can see how it manifests in her romantic relationships. Was Brian Sarah's only long-term relationship? Yes, he was. She never mentioned anyone else. Do you think she emulates her mother in that relationship? She seemed very dominant, a strange journey from Brian to George. She told me that she didn't believe that she was desirable back then. She wished she could tell 15-year-old herself that she was. I can relate to that. She absolutely idolizes her mother. Me too. Switched to my laptop. My phone died. My first relationship was 3 months after a huge crush I had on him. He was 17, I was 15. We went out a few times and I thought I was so in love with him I could die. You know how teenage romance is like. Anyways, cut to school and I had to stay late for ROTC and my brother was in swim team and I was going to hitch a ride home. I turned the corner and saw my crush/boyfriend making out with his ex on the stairs. Her mom sounds like she was a force. He didn't know I was there. Yes, she sure was extremely religious. Oh boy. No, jerk. Yeah, well, I didn't confront him. I told my brother in tears, and he confronted him. Teenage boys are horn dogs. Can't think with the correct head. Exactly. Yay, brother. Well, he came to me all apologetic, saying she got in his head and so on. I told him it was too late and wouldn't look at him after that. Good for you. Yeah, I never forgot that pain and I vowed I would never cause that to anyone. And I have so far lived up to it. Good for you. I don't judge others because relationships are complicated. My best friend at the time, I was her maid of honor, eventually their marriage imploded due to mutual infidelity. So, as you grow older, you learn to not judge others. Relationships are very complicated. Our whole lives' history enter our relationships. Logic struggles with emotion. We fall back on habit in times of stress, even if we logically know better. Quite true. We bring ourselves into relationships. Exactly. It was complicated with the guy I moved to New York with because we loved each other in our teenage memory, but we were 20 years older and had many more battle scars and less tolerance/patience for anything we deemed intolerable. I remember him saying, I didn't sign up for this. And I responded, me either. Who would? It's something we didn't talk about. He wanted to split bills 1/3 him and 2/3 me because I had my daughter. She was 13. That included things like internet and she didn't have a computer. It was awful. OMG. Guys consume more than girls. He didn't mention it until we moved to NYC. He lived in my place in LA 3 months before we moved. Wow. Right. He was a 6-foot grown ass man. He ate more than me. Exactly. Probably more than you and your daughter combined. And I didn't start earning $100K a year until after we broke up. While he made that when we reconnected. So clearly we had no future. Oh, good Lord. You can tell when someone is in it for another. He was parsing pennies. Then we started buying separate groceries and cooking separate meals. I would cry myself to sleep. This was happening after everyone knew we moved cross country together and it was all imploding. I'm so sorry. He totally was. He wanted the rent split that way. He and I shared a room and my daughter had her own. It made no sense. So then I moved out of the bedroom and slept in the living room on the couch. Mind you, all the NYC furniture was mine. So finally I said, we have to take turns in the bed. My bed. Oh my God. We lived together for a month and a half, and then I sublet a 2-bedroom with a nice terrace. Crazy raccoons and a drunk downstairs neighbor, but we were free. He was shocked that I moved out, and I thought, really? Like, he was crying, ugly crying, snotty face. I thought he was nuts. Then a month later, he sent me a spreadsheet of what I, quote unquote, owed him. I bet you did. Oh my God. Is he insane? My mom was pissed. I was numb. She was like, send him a bill for the bed, quote unquote, rental, pots, pans, dishes. Exactly. I just had to move on and take care of my daughter. 2009 was the first year I earned over $100,000 and I haven't looked back. I paid him off in 8 months, although we agreed I had 2 years. I just wanted to be done. You actually paid him? 4 question marks. I vowed never to be dependent on another human being again, and so far, so good. Wow, LOL. I did. Everyone said not to. I just wanted a clean break. F him. He was the type. I didn't want to be sued. He turned out to be very petty. You didn't have a written contract, did you? Unfortunately, no. He wanted to make one retroactive after I moved out. Not a chance. Not having a written contract would have worked out in your favor. But he sent me these emails where he was trying to make a paper trail to document the oral agreement. It was just stressful. Yeah, I can understand looking at it like happiness and freedom tax. I wouldn't agree to set a payment plan like X amount of dollars on this day, and he was furious. He can pound sand. Sorry, I know it was the past, but it's getting me pissed at this guy. I agreed to 2 years and left it at that. Mind you, I was an auditor at a bank and the market crashed in August of 2008. I wasn't working. I had $20K in the bank and he wanted me to pay him out of that. I didn't know where my next dollar was coming from and I had my daughter to take care of. It was awful. It took me a while not to be quote unquote in love even after I left. Stupid me thought we might reconcile when things were less stressful. And I'm sorry about what happened to you. I remember 2008. Unfortunately, it was a massively profitable year for me because of the many people downsizing and needing to store their belongings and move. Nice. I put my things in storage that year. The sublet was furnished. I didn't get my things back until 2011, the year I got the job at NBCU. That job changed my life. I did a lot of amateur therapy for many customers who would not stop sobbing in my office because of what had happened to their livelihoods or circumstances. Incredible. Bless you. It was heavy and it was unclear what the way out was. It sure was. There was one woman I remember just hugging until my arms felt like falling off. Her name was Karen Guilfoyle, and I'm telling you her name for a reason. I ended up tapping into my 401k because I didn't get work until April of 2009. Morgan Stanley. It was super sexist, but I had to suck it up. Morgan Stanley? Holy cats. Related to Kimberly? Haha, no. LOL. But I held her hand through her job loss, and she would actually visit with me every month for the sick she stored with me. I knew her love for pens, so I'd let her quote unquote steal my roller ball pen since she was left-handed. Anyways, fast forward to 2010. My kidneys had failed and I was a month out of transplant. Still healing. Exclamation point. I had sold my business and filed for disability. Oh, wow. Well, my lawyer had coached me on my meeting with the Social Security, so I walked in all freaked out and nervous, and Karen Guilfoyle stepped out and sat at her desk. My jaw hit the floor. What? Yes! My eyes just teared up. Wow, wow, wow. She ran through the gate and hugged the shit out of me. We nearly forgot about the interview. She just started typing and said, I know what your job was about. Just sit tight. That's what kindness looks like. You were kind to her because she was a human who needed, not worried about how she might return it or even that she should. She actually ran the start time back a year and a half, so I got a huge lump sum starting payment. Oh, she paid me back in mega spades. God bless her. I was so happy she got such a wonderful job. To this day, I'm blown away. I saw her at her darkest hour only to have her be there for mine. I'm sure your warm heart and listening ears meant more than she could ever express, and that was a small way to say thank you. Oh, I was so grateful. Karma can be a beautiful thing. Another example of why being a good human really matters. You never know the full impact. In this way, God gave you a small glimpse. You didn't have to be nice in her time of need. You could have been neutral or worse, cruel. Yes, you are right. What a joyful story. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for listening. I could talk your ear off or fingers or eyes, lol, but you have to work, don't you? Your heart must have been so full upon seeing her. Glad to see her and that she was doing well, and also relieved that you weren't facing some stern, uncaring pencil pusher. Wow, we're not facing. I was listening to the transcripts, but now need to make videos. The sidebars are fascinating, and I did more research about Florida appeals. Yes, I was absolutely overjoyed and a little embarrassed at my change in circumstances, which lasted all of like 5 seconds until she hugged the snot out of me. Hey, you did. I'd love to hear what you found out. Once the state submits their response, the appellate board can deny, hear oral arguments, or just submit a written response. The second two could lead to a new trial. Oh boy, that's a nutshell. I will do more. I want to make a video. People keep saying she shouldn't get to file an appeal, but that is her right. We can't change the law because we don't like someone. Would it be the same lawyers for the state or different ones? Do you know? It doesn't mean she will be granted a new trial, but she has a right to an appeal. Exactly. You're right about that. That I don't know. Likely the same. It would definitely be the same judge. Kranek? Or as you like to say, Zaddy Kranek? Ha ha ha. Yes, it gets sent back to the lower court if the appeal grants a new trial, or the appellate board. LOL! Exclamation point. Wow. Yes. Laughing my ass off. Her attorney could file for Kranek to recuse. Speaking of attorney, if the judges rule she gets a court-appointed attorney, she gets one. I don't know that the quote-unquote forfeiture would apply to the new trial, so hopefully she would play nice. But they can make case law from the previous trial without granting a new one. That's a good question. I think she thoroughly burned her bridge with Owens. It's like a big decision tree. You think? Ma'am. Quite true. She reported him to the bar, far worse than the mere ethical claims she made against the others who quit. I pulled the bar records. They have nothing of Sarah reporting James to the bar, so her bark is worse than her bite. That really pissed me off. He would be a fool to rep her again, unless he has something to prove, and made me feel really guilty for talking him into representing her in the first place. How would you know she would do that? Desperate people do desperate things. He put in his time. He owes her nothing. He went above and beyond. Know that. Right. LMAO. Know that. I just made my cat jump laughing. LOL. The clothing blew my mind. Mine too. She demanded that Billy was to send the clothing to Christina to hang on to for when Sarah got out of there because of job interviews. Clueless. In the messages, she asked Christina to get her other things from property. True, too. Okay, I'm gonna make some videos now, working from home today, so we'll text with you later. Also, we have a date to talk about Owens and the family case. Do you really think they were gay for the stay? Yes. Okay, always great chatting with you. That is likely a good idea. And yes, we do. They were caught in the bathroom together multiple times. They had multiple bed violations. He has had enough of Sarah. Ugh. They were doing something. Also, in the transcripts, I believe it was Christina in the gallery flirting with Sarah. You're right. She told me she was looking at Christina. I thought it was Billy. It was super flirtatious. Sarah's face was flush. She looked post-coital. Post-coital. Surprise face. Or shocked. Intimacy with a woman can be very different. I don't know quite how to explain it. It's so soft. I am sure they found comfort in one another's arms. Comfort is hard to find in a jail for sure. Right. It sounds like they try and strip away your humanity. You need a human connection. I spoke a lot about my late friend who died of pancreatic cancer in 2022. I never told Sarah she was gay. She said the same thing to me that you just did. Also, all the business with cutting the gloves that Sarah got written up for, definitely for sex. I thought it was for dental dams, but others said makeshift dildos? Triple question mark. I didn't know that. Wait, what did she say? My late best friend told me what you said, that intimacy with a woman is very different. Oh, totally. There is a sweetness to it. It's just different. Love is love for sure. Not to idolize it though, it can be messy too, but the intimacy is different. A man can never touch you the way a woman does. We just know things. Yeah, my best friend referred to it as home court advantage. We know how we work. Yes! By the way, I didn't say ugh at the thought of two women. I think that is beautiful. Just the thought of Sarah and Christina in a back bathroom with gloves or whatever. Okay, these videos aren't going to make themselves. Oh boy, sorry. I will chat with you later. As always, it was a pleasure chatting with you. Agreed. Talk to you soon. And then I got a purple heart from her. Then Saturday, May 10th at 2:55 a.m., she sends me these photos. The family picture I sent Sarah with my husband and son holding me up. The pic I sent Sarah of my son and I at my husband's dad's funeral. And then I didn't get back to her till 7:08. You all are a great looking family. I can feel the love coming through the photo. I hope I get to meet Austin next time. I wish we could have taken a picture. Didn't think about it until I was on my way back to the airport. So then May 10th at 11:34, Brian filed the pretrial memorandum without Sarah. Just sent you the link. Under the guidelines, she owes him $367 monthly in child support. He has no objection to her filing her own. Then at 4:54, hey Tanika, this is Dan, Lana's husband. I'm so sorry to say this, but Lana passed away in her sleep this morning. We are all devastated. She was my rock and my best friend. We were about to celebrate our 26th wedding anniversary in September. I know she would want me to let you know. No, I'm so incredibly sorry. I cannot imagine what you are going through. Please let me know if there is anything I can do for you or your son. Donations, flowers, what can I do to support you? I can set up a meal train and you can share with your family and friends. This will allow them to order meal delivery for you so you have one less thing to worry about. Thank you so much. I will let you know. It is just so raw. And that was it. That's how I found out. Yeah. All right. So that was it. What do you guys think? If you're watching in the premiere, I'm going to talk for a few minutes because the ending was kind of heavy and I want to make sure we have time to chat in the chat together and kind of, process everything that we've seen. If you're watching on the replay crew, you can, head on out now. Or I will have the comments on replay as well. Like the comments from the premiere will be on the replay. You know what I mean? So if you want to stick around and read those, that's great. Hit the thumbs up on the way out if you liked it. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. All engagement is good engagement. So yeah, again, I'm not trying to convince anyone to fall in love with Lana. I know some of you guys are set in your ways. I appreciate you being respectful and having a discussion with me about it, and we're not devolving into something weird and strange, right? We're not in an echo chamber. I respect your opinions. I want to hear them. And I just ask that you do the same for me. Do you know? I know a lot of people have problems with it. I know a lot of people have said, well, were you able to be friends with Lana and you can't give the same grace to the Aussie or to P&J? It's all in how we came together, right? So the Lovelies asked me to interview Lana after we found out about her, heard her because we did not have the tablet messages at that time, right? She would appear on the call log, but we didn't know what that meant. So I reached out to her in January or the very end of December, and we started talking the very early January. She was always nice to me, never like saying crazy stuff. And also I felt like she might be being used and she was open to talking to me. And then people give me a hard time of like, you didn't tell that to Lana. You don't know what I told to Lana. I did not pull any punches. Obviously, I couldn't just be like fist down her throat because then why would she listen to me, right? There's no persuasion opportunity there. So I like kind of slow walked it of like, did you see this family court document? Did you know George was on the lease? I sent the lease. Like she didn't know all those things, right? She only knew what Sarah told her. And she was receptive to that and it landed. So hopefully you see that in these final text messages that she finally like that light bulb went off and it cinched the deal for her that Sarah is not a good person. However, what I get from the others, so the Aussie, the first time I remember her addressing me was after Lana died, and her friends had been addressing me like, oh, she's not really dead, and I don't see an obituary, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure like she died on a Saturday. I don't think they do the obits the same day. Like you have to wait till Monday because business hours, but they were just very aggressive. And then the Aussie said something, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember it had something that will hurt you. And so I blocked her at that point because like, why are you trying to hurt me? What good is that? So that's like what her energy was. And I hope she didn't mean physically. I think she was going to post something that Lana said or show me something that Lana said that would hurt my feelings. But why when I'm grieving the death of someone, do you want to hurt my feelings? Do you know what I mean? And my suspicion was whenever it was said, it was before she and I started talking. And what I've gathered from what other people have said, it was, I don't know. I don't really care. I just thought like, what a nasty person, do you know? And the same with P&J, the first contact. Well, actually, it's not true. There was one email I found from P back in November, but I don't think I knew who he was. And he was asking about getting family court documents. And he was like, oh, I'm a fan. But obviously we know that was not the truth. And how do you get the family court docs? I get a lot of emails. I just click through that one because it says it on the website, how to get the family court docs. So like, if you can't read the website, it doesn't make sense for me to write it out. Right. But the first interaction I had with him was super aggressive. So why would I befriend him? You know what I mean? He's threatening to take me to court. He's telling me that I need to be quiet. Not only that I need to be quiet, but that I need to remove all of his videos from the internet. Like, sir, First Amendment. And so I've never had an interaction with Jay, although he was copied on an email that I was copied on from Sarah's second appellate attorney, like the one who was the first official one. What's his name? Josh, not Martell. I always get it mixed up because that's Brian. Whatever Josh's Adams. I think it was Adams. We were both copied on that email because he was already like, I'm not going to respond to both of you guys. You were asking about this. Here's the update. And please respond all or reply all so that I don't have to basically fool with you guys. And I didn't write him again. I was just like, oh my God, a lot of people must be writing him, whatever. So that's my only quote unquote interaction with Jay, right? So yeah, that's the main difference. Like I didn't have an N. We didn't have like an olive branch to start off with. Or I guess if you're starting off, you don't need an olive branch. But do you know what I mean? So like that's the main difference for me. But also for me, what I saw in the tablet messages, P and J were doing something definitely unethical, potentially illegal, and then trying to silence me. So that just made me feel some type of way about them, right? It's not personal, but it's your business ethics that I don't agree with. Just like this was a good example because I flustered on this the other day and I said like Diet Coke. I am in the alphabet community, right? So I don't purchase things from Chick-fil-A. I just don't. Do I hate Chick-fil-A? No, I just don't fool with them. To the extent that there was a YouTube channel, a married couple, 2 women who I followed religiously for a long time. I was a member. I was always in their lives. And then they kept going to Chick-fil-A. You know how like the family style vloggers are eating and whatever. And so I commented on it, like, do you know they're against LGBTQ folk? And they were like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. We're not dealing with like the corporation. We're just dealing with the front desk people or the whatever. And they need a paycheck too, granted. But the money that goes to Chick-fil-A funds their own donations, right? They put a lot of money into anti-gay, anti-lesbian, anti-alphabet folk, right? They put a lot of money into that. So I had to cancel my membership. Like I'm not gonna, oh, look at this. The joys of motherhood. This one just, you want to say hi? You want to say hi, Spitty Face? He's like, what's happening? He's been smiling. He smiled a couple times. It's not gas. The pediatrician at his 2-month checkup was like, he'll start smiling. And I wanted to say he already has, but I didn't want her to burst my bubble and say it's gas. But like when he hears my voice or if I'm like over him, he'll smile. Will you smile for me right now? You want to say hi, Mr. Spitty Face? No, he's looking at other stuff. Hi. Hello, handsome. Hello, handsome. Look, there he goes. Hello, handsome. He did a little bit of a smile. Yes, your mama's handsome little baby. Little handsome guy. Anyway, so yeah, like I stopped being a member because I didn't want to participate. It's nothing like more nefarious than that, right? Although this new renewed vow of silencing me has me curious. So I've got some other things that I'm digging up because like why now is it so adamant to discredit me and blame me for all your life's woes? There must be something there. Me think they doth protest too much. So stay tuned. If there's anything, I will bring it. But yeah, so I feel like Lana was a really good person. She had a lot of things going on, right? Like she had the surgery to get the kidney, and then the horrible thing, she got sepsis. And so then it failed. I mean, that's like such a one-off, right? My sister has had the kidney that I gave her. It'll be 20 years next June, which my nephrologist told me this last year. That's actually rare. So it's like the opposite ends of the spectrum. It just, I don't know. I just feel like she got the short stick. So I'm empathetic to her situation. I did give her the business about Sarah, but again, it was in a way that was palatable and that allowed me to introduce facts to her, right? The receipts. You guys know I have the receipts. And she understood, she picked up what I was putting down. So it could have gone either way. I would have known as we went along. You know what I mean? You kind of suss it out. But I will say, like, she was genuinely my friend. And whatever that means to you all doesn't matter to me. Do you know what I mean? Like if you need to make sense of that, have at it. That's all I can really say. I enjoyed talking to her in real time about true crime and motherhood and other stuff. And just life growing up. Like she had shared this horrific accident she had. I don't know how she survived through it. Just like having her own business. Like she was a really complex human being. Like she had a full life. So that is that. And I'm not trying to, because I read somewhere on Reddit was like, I'm not buying Tanika and her redemption, which is fine, right? I'm not trying to sell it to everyone else, other than I'm just explaining what my position was on it and how I enjoyed getting to know her. And others are like, well, she didn't really leave, she got left. But she had a choice, and she took the choice of her autonomy and her agency, right? Because if she would have said, I'm not going to talk to you anymore, Tanika, because Sarah doesn't allow it, I would have accepted that because that was her friend first. If that's where her, you have to meet people where they are mentally. If that was what her mentality was, I was fine. I would have been sad, but I was fine for her to move that way. So she did make the choice to continue talking to me, which is why I say she didn't get left. She kept her autonomy. But, people will see what they want to see, say what they want to say. I am not going to over explain myself. Either you get it or you don't. You don't have to like her. She's no longer here. So that makes it easier for you. You don't have to agree with my friendship. But hopefully you're not a Sarah and decide you're not going to talk to me because of who I talk to. You know what I mean? It sounds crazy, right? So, yeah, I just have my own reasons for the others. I just don't like negative energy. I mean, and it's not something new because someone was like, oh, she got on there talking about mental wellness. I've always talked about mental wellness. If you watch my other channel that I started in 2017, Going on a Fertility Journey, you have to think about your wellness. Like, don't go on social media if you just had a failed cycle because you're going to see people with babies. Even if you go on and you go in, like, you may not know about this whole world. It's TTC, trying to conceive. Put in hashtag TTC and you'll see when people have like baby announcements, they'll put trigger warning because somebody's going to be triggered. Holidays are hard. Like a lot of the people in the TTC, a lot of humans in general have a hard time with the holidays. Like my brother was murdered 2 days after Christmas. So every December is hard. But I know like what I can do, what I can't do as far as keeping myself well. So it's not like a gimmick of like, oh, think about your mental health. Like that's a legit thing. If you can't handle it or it's going to trigger you, walk away. I know like going back and forth with someone is going to trigger me. So I don't get involved in it. I don't have those kind of people in my life. Right. So it just depends on what your tolerance is. Some people like drama. They want to go back and forth. They want to be victims. That was the thing too about Lana. She never felt sorry for herself and she had every right to, but she had a high locus of control, which I appreciate, right? She took ownership of what she did. She wasn't blaming people out here. Oh, you did this. And so that's why you ruined my life or ruined my marriage or ruined my business, right? Like, how did I have the power to do that? So she took accountability for her actions. She took accountability for herself. She wasn't mad at the world because she was dying of polycystic kidney and liver disease. She had a great outlook on life, I thought. And I think she thought she was going to make a difference with Sarah. Why she didn't see what I saw, I don't know. We're not the same people. But, anyway, that's it. All right, that's enough time for us to talk in the chat. Let me have it if you're on the replay crew and you feel like I have a blind spot. I admit I got in too deep. That was not my intention. It just happened. This is my first case. I don't think I will ever get that close to someone again. I don't think I'll ever go this deep into any case again. Sarah is just so fascinating, like her and the people who surround her. And yeah, I did call Lana a flying monkey. I think she was part of the primate clan, the airborne primate clan in the beginning. She was doing her bidding. She said it herself. Like she didn't realize, like she hadn't even heard of the flying monkeys she kind of knew about it from like the Wizard of Oz, but there's actually like a psychological term called flying monkeys. She didn't know that. Right. And so it was an interesting relationship journey, whatever you want to call it. I don't regret it. I guess I'm just going to say that if people are trying to make me shame about it, I'm not going to be shamed. I don't regret the human connection that I had with her. So that is there. And nobody in her life was supportive of it. So it wasn't like I was the only one who was like, you heard her mom told her to stay away. Her husband was like, no, rolled his eyes. Her son was into it because he supported his mom. He was the one who was going to go be her travel companion when she went to Florida for the documentary. Because she can't fly by herself. She can't drive by herself, right? Because she's in a wheelchair. So he supported her in that way. And, part of me thinks like she's looking down, probably excited that we're still talking about her. Do you know what I mean? She's still a part of the true crime world. And she left as part of one of the more infamous cases of our time. I think even if she had to take her licks with it, I think that excited her, because otherwise, why would she be inserting herself into like chats? I know people are like, oh, she just wanted the fame. Infamy. You think she wanted the infamy? I don't think that's what she wanted. But she did leave her mark on the true crime world. And so I'm happy for her for that.
just happened?
What? No.
I said it earlier.
Oh, no, when I moved in, we dropped it.
So who called?
What is happening?
They're asking you, not me.
Yeah, you speak to him, I'll speak to you, man. Come here. So I'm guessing you called for a reason, right?
Only 24 hours. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but you realize he's here now, right? Have you been drinking?
I had a drink.
Okay.
It was raining.
I didn't drink.
I'm looking at 116, by the only at Florida Road, and the manager. The store manager.
No, look at the door. Like, you know, I have my God.
Okay, well. The area and one that is setting down. And tattoos all over, no shirt, no pants.
Yeah, I have to. He's here.
Other one tattoos.
Yeah, you can stay right here. You can stay right here. He doesn't know. You don't have to.
Another black male, another description, mark,
I have to. You have to. We left it earlier. We respected your wish earlier. Yeah, we respected your wish earlier, okay? But he's here. Okay.
24 hours.
That's the only reason. I have to make it go.
Today is president, 35
Stay right here. You don't have to know. You don't have to know. You don't have to know.
Transfer promote the preferred last night.
Oh, you can sit back and stop ringing. It's just sprinkling, it's okay.
Whatever you want to.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but I'm literally begging you, no.
Yeah, but you know he's gonna have to. Shame.
Last week, we guys was, I guess, a physical or whatever, I don't know. I got taken out of here without no shirt, no shoes or whatever.
And then you went and saw the judge, right?
Yes.
And what did he say?
The judge was like,
Was it a female or male?
Female.
Female? Okay. What, you don't know what she said?
He was bad.
Yes. My head hurts, so you have to, don't grab. That's a dog. I know. No, this is a thin blue line bracelet.
Okay. And what was written on it?
Stop.
I did not get it.
We're not gonna do it yet.
At all.
Did you get any form of paperwork?
I got paperwork, but I didn't get.
What was that paperwork for?
Paperwork was, X.
And what does it say?
No.
With who? With who?
With her, but she never said anything like that. It was just the judge that put it.
The judge is on the matters, right?
Is it?
Is she? I believe so. She's above us.
Is she above her?
She's the judge. She's the law. Okay.
Guys, you guys want to talk me in. I have no.
Is my other guy here? Okay. So here's the deal, man. Your paperwork says that you can't have any contact whatsoever with her. Okay. And if you do, it's a new charge. Okay. So.
I like contact.
Have you been? Has she been drinking today? Have you been drinking? Okay. How long have you been here since?
I'm gonna be honest. You guys came here. She called me.
We know. Because we went to your work of employment. And they told us that you just left. Yep, and we knew that she called you. We knew that. We knew she called.
Oh, it's just, she called me and said,
Yep. You're correct. Okay, so you know what's gonna happen, right?
yes.
Okay, stand up, bro. You can take one last puff.
Please?
Yeah, one last, go ahead. Yeah, just put it out real quick.
Alright, wait, one more.
Wait, no, what?
Never make sure.
Come on, relax. Okay? I want you to be off your head. I want you to know around us.
Right, you promised.
I don't think they promised you that.
I did it earlier.
Well, that was earlier. This is transaction. Right?
I didn't call.
You didn't say you called.
See, I told you.
But you did you call him earlier?
See, I told you.
Because he just told us. And we know the store told us.
I told you. Wait, is there anything that you do?
You're good. You can stay right there.
No, is there anything that you not?
No, man, you know he has no contact order on a judge. He can't be here.
Okay. That's sometimes.
Yeah, but
You need help for anything?
no, we don't. We have her information already. So here's what's gonna happen, bud. You're gonna take the ride back down, and because it's almost 2:00 in the afternoon, you're gonna see a judge tomorrow morning. We'll see her today. It might be the same judge that gave you no contact order. Okay? That's it. From here on out, but until that case is resolved, you cannot come here. Okay? Or have contact with her, even if she invites you. Okay? She called us earlier, told us that you guys had a no contact order. Okay? She didn't want anything to start, but we told her because it's domestic, instead of Florida has to. Okay, so, alright, but just make sure he's got nothing on him. Hey, you have anything on you, right, bud? No. We'll make it as cordial as can be. Okay, we promise it, alright? What you say?
I love you, babe. Don't take it easy. You hear me? I love you. Call Papa Mom. Hello, Bella. Sarah, call Papa Mom.
I'll make sure we go there. Great.
No.
It's alright, man. Just give me your mom's your photos.
Just not there.
I don't know it. You don't know it. Tino, Sarah. What's the charges against?
So, the domestic battery charge that he got hit with last week or whatever it was, he was given a no contact order by the judge. Okay, whether she invites him or not,
I know.
he knows he can't be here. So he was here this morning, and she called us this morning, okay? He's now back, and he knows by the he can't be here. No, he gets a phone call, he gets out. Yeah, he gets when he gets in. Well, if you have a piece of paper real quick, you can get it for me, and we'll give it to him.
You don't know your mother's number. She had.
If you can get it real quick, we'll give it to him.
You're not getting your mother's number.
And make sure that.
All right. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Sound off in the comments. I want to hear what you think. Just be, polite. That's all I ask. Like, don't go ham. Yeah. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will talk to you later. Are you going to practice your toodles? Your brother's not here, so he won't know. Do you want to say toodles? He's like, no, lady, I can't even hold up my neck. All right. Toodles. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.